Hello, and welcome back to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Matt Murray.
Hello.
I'm here with Sean Bell.
Hello.
And I'm here with a completely clueless James Farley.
Hello.
For those of you that are joining us for the first time this week, or maybe missed our shows last year, this is our E3 special. What we plan to do is go through everything that was announced at the sort of major conferences at E3. However, James Farley has avoided all E3 news for, a week and a half now? And we are about to tell him what happened to get his live reaction. James, how's your week away from all gaming news been?
It's been really shit, David. And
I told you. Well, actually, leading up to it, I was like, no, it ain't that bad. Which was all bollocks. It was a fucking nightmare when I did it. An absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and you did it for a couple of days. I've done it for ages. This has been...
I did it for a little bit more than that.
Bullshit. This has been going on for ages. I'll tell you what, though. Who is it next year? Who's
Matt?
It's me.
So, Matt, I was thinking, I'm going to book a 2-week holiday around E3 next year. So I might not be able to record for a couple of weeks.
So am I. The only way I'm going to be able to do it is by going to a beach with no internet. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do it.
But
Can I... we should probably address... There's a few elephants in the room, James.
Yeah, I thought there might be.
I am...
See,
I'm not... Go.
Because the thing is, I knew that this, whatever you're going to say, I knew that stuff was going to come up, and you were going to be like, oh, I think you cheated, I think you read whatever, right? I know you're going to bring up a whole litany of stuff, right? But the thing is I've been thinking about this, and you see, I've been really good. I've done nothing. Like, I swear, I've really have no idea. There's only one thing I know, which I saw this morning by accident, right? Now, think about this,
do you want to explain that to listeners, what happened this morning, because you have told us about it?
Well, okay, so this morning I flew back to the UK and I was going past a shop and I happened to see the name of the new Xbox, like, in the shop.
I happened to walk in and put a pre-order.
What happened to open an internet browser and search for new Xbox name? And
Did not do that.
I fell on my browser and...
Well, James, you're actually wrong. Not about the name of the console, that's bang on, we'll get to that. So you're actually wrong. I'm not going to attack you, and I'm not going to say you've cheated. All I'm going to do is offer you up the evidence that's been sent to us.
Go on.
And you have the right to reply and explain yourself.
Okay, go on.
There are 3 pieces of evidence we've got here.
I know what they're going to be, but go on.
Matt and Sean only know one of them. Right, so the first one is... You were appearing offline and then online on Discord throughout the majority of E3. Mm-hmm. What's your explanation for that?
Well, that's simple. Basically, I didn't close Discord on my Mac, right? So I'm at work, I'm using my Mac, but I switched all notifications off and everything, and I didn't read anything. So, there's...
But I mean, you could have closed the app down, couldn't you?
Eh?
Yeah, some people would question...
I should have closed the app down, but because I'd switched off notifications, I didn't actually realise that I hadn't closed it. So, there's that.
Okay, well, listeners, make of that what you will. That's James' reply to that. Number 2, we were offered a review copy of Nex Machina, is it?
Next Machina.
It's called this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of emailed you to say, hey, James, just to let you know, we've been offered this review. Is it something you want to review? And you replied, yeah, I'm not really up for this one, but I don't know how to reply to Mark about it.
Yeah.
That would imply that you've been checking your emails, and there's been quite a few news items come through.
I can get you on this as well, because the thing is, right?
You don't need to get me. I'm just offering the evidence.
Okay, I can explain this as well.
For your reply.
I can explain this as well. So, obviously, I've had my emails coming through, because there's nothing I can do about that, because I have to use my stuff for work as well. I can't just, not have any emails, right? But
I'm not asking you to.
I was clever with this, though. Because what I did was, on my phone, I switched off, previews. So first of all, you can't see what the content of the message is. And then also, as soon as I got anything that said, Nintendo or, Xbox, whatever, I deleted it straight away. I didn't read any of those mails. Okay, all right.
I didn't just wander down to the subject.
No.
At any point. Okay, all right,
fine. No, Dave is fine. He didn't fancy Nex Machina because he read the reviews and it didn't sound great. That's fine.
I just read what Mark had sent, and it just didn't look like my kind of thing.
And Eurogamer.co.uk.
Nope.
Okay.
.net, whatever, fuck it.
This is quite a big one.
Go on.
This is the third piece and your final piece of evidence that I would like to hear your explanation for. Before we started recording today, I thought, do you know what? I'll just check his Switch profile.
Yeah.
And it said you were online 6 days ago.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. What was 6 days ago? When was that?
Well, that would be Wednesday, wouldn't it? Last week.
Okay, well, that wouldn't have been me because I wasn't even in the country at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
It is a portable console, James.
Yeah, but I didn't take it with me. Rachel's been using it the whole time. But no, Rachel's like had it because that's another thing that I knew that it'd be something like that. But I didn't take it with me. You can ask Chen. Like I didn't take it with me. I can even get my daughter.
Get
my daughter to like say that she used the Switch.
Get her now.
I can't. She's putting Ash to bed. But
I don't care. Get Chen on the line now.
Than your parents.
I'll send her a message.
Wake Rachel up now.
I'll send her a message and ask her to come here in a minute.
No. There's no need for that.
Fine.
Don't do that. Put your phone down. We all know that you're checking Twitter right now. James, they're your explanations. I'm not going to dig in any further. I'm just offering what we found over the week.
The thing is,
the listeners can take the evidence that I've put forward, take your reply, and let us know if you believe him. At Computer Game Pod.
No, because the thing is, right, as I was going to explain about this, I knew that you were going to try and like dig me out on anything to do with this. Why would I?
Because you're all over your Switch and all over your.
Fuck off! But listen, think about this, right? Why would I let myself open to that even being possible? You know, I just wouldn't do that because. You know, it's just too risky. I can't, you know, I'd fold under the pressure. So this is why I was really careful with all this stuff. I mean, as I said...
I must say, it doesn't sound like you're, you know, staying firm under pressure right now, to be honest with you, James.
God.
I mean, the music would have changed if this was Phoenix, right? And Matt would have been completely oblivious.
Yeah, the Xbox,
the
Xbox name thing was annoying because that was the only, like, genuinely the only thing that, like, I know, like, about that's come out of this. So
we will get to that, and I can totally forgive you for that. I mean, that's out there now. There are adverts everywhere, and fair play. I mean, I'm not angry about that.
Are you going to forgive James for tweeting during the week?
Yes, absolutely. Why?
Right, it just, I mean, like last year, it was, I thought it was a ridiculous loophole that you found, and then James is doing the same thing this year.
But this is it though, Matt. Like, and there's been some confusion on this on Twitter as well. The task James had to take out is to avoid all E3 news.
Yeah.
Right? Avoiding social media is an obvious thing that you need to do. That wasn't the task. The task wasn't don't go on social media. The task was avoid all E3 news. What he's doing there is tweeting through the app. So there's literally no way you could see any replies or messages or tweets and just putting his thoughts out there for people to read. That is totally acceptable. I mean, we're not doing a social experiment in avoiding Twitter and Facebook. We're doing a show where he has to know as little to nothing about E3 from this year. So yeah. I can't understand why you keep bringing this up as some major issue.
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, I did. You know, I know, James. I know he also went on Reddit.
Yeah, see, that's no. Let me explain this as well because Matt.
Whoa! What? He was on Reddit.
No. Okay, this is the thing, right? Because me and Matt had a discussion about this because Matt was being ridiculous. Because the thing is,
James,
right,
you were on Reddit.
No. As you've already explained, the purpose of this exercise was to avoid all gaming news and anything to do with E3, right?
You go to one of the biggest.
Because what you can do, and this is what I did the whole time, is you just go to Google. I typed in Reddit UK politics, and then because I just want to know what's going on with the election stuff and everything, you can go straight to that. You don't get anything that's like related to like that, you know, to gaming at all.
James,
what's
why
wrong
would
with
you
that?
even? I mean, you've just told us. Oh, why would I even risk doing that?
Yeah, but
and now you're saying,
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
I went on Reddit.
It's not a risk though because you don't. There's no content there that's related to gaming like at that time.
Well, I popped on Eurogamer, but I was blurring my eyes as if I was looking past the page for a little bit just to see.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for that. So,
well, no, I mean, I was trying to find the text actually because he said it was on Reddit, and he showed me a picture of the politics page, and I said, I want to find my text, but I was really disappointed. I was really angry with you when I James. And I was like, it's not that. It's just the principle, James. Fucking hell.
It's not the principle.
And
it's like the principle
it's not about avoiding the internet. And I was like, you know what? Sorry, James. I was maybe being a little bit harsher.
No, the principle was to avoid gaming news, not to avoid all news. Because that would be insane.
Some dedication.
No, but why wouldn't you just go to the BBC website or something
because
where it's clear? I mean, that is still fucking risky, by the way.
I know. The reason I did that is because I wanted to see what people's reactions are to what's going on. It's like if you just
Reddit.
If you just read the BBC,
are you kidding me?
Well, there's no other option, is there? I can't read Twitter. I can't read any of the other stuff. So it's like that's the only way you're going to get anything at all of what's going on.
No, there is another option. The other option is don't go on Reddit.
I mean, but you know what people's reactions are? People's reactions are, why are there so many foreigners? I think we should keep Theresa May and she's strong and stable.
David,
that's a specific
Sean.
Reddit subreddit that Sean reads there called /kick 'em out.
I just wanted to see if we still were strong and stable. I just wanted to know what the...
Spoiler, we ain't.
So far, James has been tweeting from the iTunes store. Yeah. He went on Reddit. He also went on Facebook Messenger. I got a message saying,
how can I not go on Facebook Messenger?
Hang on, James, hang on.
I haven't ever been on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, but
I
use it for work. I can't... and what am I supposed to do? Just completely
Tell him to
ignore?
Email you.
Oh.
Apparently you all have your fucking emails. Tell him to post it up on
James,
Reddit. You read it
on,
there.
Look, right, James texted me Sunday night. I accidentally clicked the Apple group in Messenger. James and I have got an Apple group with some other people. I accidentally clicked the Apple group in Messenger. I didn't read anything, now I swear. It was just a gut reaction to clear the notification.
Yeah. You know, like how you do that. Does nobody else do that? It's like, you just want to clear.
Yeah.
And so I just clicked it. I was like, shouldn't have done that. And then just clicked off it, but it's fine. I didn't see anything.
And then I said, okay, is it nice having a break from the internet? What have you been doing with your time? It's not really, especially with all the political stuff going on, although I have been reading Reddit, UK politics, BBC and The Guardian.
See?
I miss podcasts.
Yeah, but exactly what has any of that got to do with E3?
Hang on.
Fuck all.
He says, I miss
The
podcasts.
Guardian has a game
hell, man.
Like it's...
The Guardian.
Yeah, but you don't have to read it, do you?
Yeah. Right, we're going over this too long. We need to get on with the show.
You bunch of pricks. This has been a horrible
quarter of an
week.
hour. We haven't even started talking about E3. Listen, it ain't for us to decide. It's for the listeners to decide. They'll tweet you at JCA Farley, at Computer Game Pod. Did James cheat? Let's find out.
I did not.
We'll hand it over to the jury. Right. Let's start with EA, shall we?
Yeah, all right.
EA Play.
Are you ready, James?
Yeah, I'm ready.
EA. Right. EA opened with NFL 2018. Big surprise there.
I don't
Mic
believe
drop
that.
moment.
I'm not sure I believe that.
For the boys of Electronic Arts, that's going to be a joke that James rolls out quite often in this podcast. If you didn't like it this time, probably tune out.
Yeah.
What
Maybe
I can't
it'd be good
wait,
after the 20th time.
What I can't wait is that this is the first podcast we're doing where James isn't just regurgitating Glixel's opinions. So this will be quite interesting.
You did the same thing as well a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to pick you up on it. But anyway, go on.
Do you know where they went from? It started with drums, right? Was it the one with the drums?
There's a marching band.
A marching band with drums.
I never understand that stuff. I mean, I get, it's gonna create an atmosphere in there,
a spectacle. Yeah.
But I don't know.
But no, it was odd, wasn't it? So the only news with Madden 18 is that basically they're adding a story mode called Long Shot.
Yeah.
Is that not? Is it the first time NFL has had that story mode?
I think so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, we're not. I'm sure people are excited about it. We're not American football fans, so let's move on. Then they moved on to Battlefield 1 DLC.
Yeah.
That's Battlefield 1 DLC. I guess that's fine. Get this stuff out of the way early and move on to the other games later.
Yeah, I mean, so the DLC is called In the Name of the Tsar. It comes out in September. 6 new maps, new weapons, women's battalion characters as well. The hilarious thing here, and they said there's a guy, I think it must be like an exec producer or community manager for Battlefield. After there was like the Battlefield trailer, it went to him and he's like, he just disabled a moving truck with a grenade while jumping off a horse. Incredible. It's just the way I had to write it down. The way he described it was just hilarious.
One of the themes of the EA conference was that the presenting up until a point was absolutely the worst I've ever seen at E3.
Yeah.
I mean, James,
really
as a man who likes car crashes, the EA conference
Really?
is going to be up there with all timer.
Yeah, there's an all-timer moment that we'll get to in a bit, but there was, up until the end, the last presenter that come out on stage, don't want to ruin anything. Who was the polar opposite? She was absolutely unbelievable throughout.
Yeah.
Oh, there was one other person on stage that was pretty good, but we'll get to that. Okay, fine. Battlefield 1 DLC, fine. They then went big on esports. Started, it was like a show reel, wasn't it, of what they're doing for competitive gaming.
Yeah.
Not aimed at us, really. I guess it's people that's into esports, fine, but it was a bit sort of cringy. I didn't really get on with that stuff at all. Or whatever. They're trying to go big on esports, fine. Next up, FIFA 18. They did not bring Cristiano Ronaldo out on stage.
No.
They did not bring any managers out on stage. They brought out, James, you know the Men in Blazers?
Yeah.
You know the Men in Blazers, right?
What do you mean? Can you explain?
Not as a general concept.
No.
Do you know, when we say Men in Blazers, do you know
Come
who we
on.
mean?
No, I don't.
You know
Can
the
explain?
Men in Blazers, right?
Explain.
The Men in Blazers, James. The Men in Blazers come out on stage to talk about FIFA.
The Men in Blazers.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No one
That's what
knows,
we were
James.
saying.
We still
That's what
don't
we were
know.
saying.
It was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Two guys come out, they're wearing blazers, they make really sort of average football jokes, and they show off FIFA 18.
I think it must be a web show. Like, there's like a montage before
like
them to recording their shows and they had like a footballer behind them or manager.
I wouldn't be
Terry
surprised. I would not be surprised if they recorded that moments before going on stage. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it
Quick,
was
just get some
Are
celebs
they
behind us.
hang on,
And
are they
pretend we've got a
like
show.
YouTube personalities or something?
I think they must be, and I think they
guess.
focus on football in America.
Yeah.
So maybe they might have been known out there. They were not known over this side.
They were British, weren't
Well,
they?
hang on, so
But-
you
but-
reckon
okay,
those guys are based
But what's the hook?
in the US?
But what's the reason though? Like, is it because of a new feature or something? Or
No, I think there was, again, it was more at the start of the show, but the start of the show seemed to focus on influencers and YouTube and pro gaming and that side of things. And I
definitely.
think that just tied in with that. It was like, here are
But
these guys that you like.
Yeah, because actually, when they announced the Battlefield 1 DLC, just before that, they had a montage of loads of big YouTubers basically playing Battlefield and like showing some of the most crazy moments they've been streaming Battlefield, and there's loads of YouTubers in this little montage. Then there's the esports stuff. So yeah, it feels like up to this point there's a lot of YouTubers and influencers. Also, they announced at the start of the conference that they've got like a whole section where loads of these influencers are playing the games that were being talked about and announced.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
get
playing
that.
it.
I didn't understand what that was about.
this sounds
I
really
don't
boring.
know what that was all about either. There was something similar happened when we went to a recent Call of Duty launch event. Where it was kind of like, hey, welcome to this launch event. Look around you. All these YouTubers are playing Call of Duty now and they're all streaming online. And it was kind of like, well, why? Do you know what I mean? We come in for a piss up. So the Men in Blazers come out and they spoke about FIFA 18. They did not mention FIFA 18 on the Switch. Should we go to that now?
Did they?
Just
Hang on.
a quick
Did
word
they?
on that?
Did they? Can I just? Did they mention like story mode or anything like what's happened with that?
They did.
They did. Yeah.
Well,
So the next story mode is still Alex Hunter. He's continuing his journey from where he left off. It seems very, very much same sort of thing. They also had a montage of football personalities talking about Alex Hunter like he's a real person, including the likes of Harry
Pep
Redknapp,
Guardiola.
Guardiola.
Okay. No,
Redknapp.
this is bollocks. That's got to be bollocks because there's no way they do that because that's ridiculous.
120%. Rio Ferdinand was in it, right?
Yeah, Rio Ferdinand. There was loads of Cristiano Ronaldo had a bit definitely. That had
Was he in there? Because I remember seeing him do the running stuff with the balls on his head.
There's players and managers from every league, pretty much.
This sounds like bollocks.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Especially,
doesn't it?
I mean, that would be a pretty shit lie if we don't.
Yeah,
it was.
No, it was really funny because there was like a fake press conference, basically like a shot of Pep, and he was saying Alex Hunter is brilliant. You know, it was just hilarious. All these people
the best was
Alex Hunter.
Harry Redknapp, because he was blatantly in a studio with some green screen behind him. Going, oh yeah, I like the boy. He's really good. It's like you see his shadow on the pitch and stuff like that.
He's absolutely terrific.
So that was FIFA 18. Yeah, so they didn't mention, we'll just briefly mention this because I know a lot of people don't give a shit, but FIFA 18 is coming to the Switch. It is called FIFA 18. I think you might have already known that. I think that leaked before you went offline. It's a completely new engine. It's not the 360 and the PS4.
Oh, is it not?
It's not the 360 and PS3 engine, which was announced on Midnight Resistance.
Look, if you're coming to Midnight Resistance for FIFA knowledge, you fucked it, right? That's your
point.
mistake. It's not mine.
It's got most of the game modes from the normal version. So it's got like a FIFA. It's got like a FIFA Ultimate Team. It's got. I can't work out if it's got seasons or not. It wasn't clear on that website.
That's what the website thing said. So,
it says seasons, but it doesn't say online seasons or co-op seasons.
Has it got?
I thought it said co-op season.
Has it got career mode?
Yes, it's got career. Apparently a fully formed career mode,
but not the journey, right?
Not the journey.
Yeah.
It's not got the journey, no. Which is, I guess,
they have got a journey, but it looks like Alex Kidd.
How does it look? How does it look? Like, does it look? Did we see any of it running at all?
I mean, I've literally just seen over-the-shoulder shots of it. It looks all right. I mean, it looks fine. Everyone's saying it looks totally fine. Obviously, there's a big difference between this and FIFA on the PS4 and Xbox One. But it runs 60 frames per second. No one actually says that out, do they? It runs 60 FPS, 1080p on TV, 720, I think, on handheld.
Yeah, handheld,
It looks like it could be good, but
it's got these little. You can play. You can split the Joy-Con up to play on each of them.
You can, you can play two Joy-Con. Like that. Yeah, so you will not find any of the details from the conferences, but there's a web page set up explaining everything.
Yeah, so it's weird.
So overall, it looks pretty decent, not.
Yeah, it looks fine. I mean, there's been previous stuff on Eurogame. I'm sure you've already read them, but yeah, they say it's the best handheld FIFA. Obviously, that's not saying a lot, but yeah, I mean, it's not going to have the graphic fidelity of the home consoles, but it looks like it might be decent. Actually, I'm quite interested to see what it's like. I haven't actually see much footage or read much of the stuff about it, but yeah,
it all depends on the engine, doesn't it? And I mean, the Frostbite engine that the current FIFA is run on isn't fantastic, so maybe this would be all right. I don't know. I'm certainly more interested than I was when I heard it was just a 360 PS3 port. It's not that, apparently. Mm-hmm. Right, okay, so next was my favourite moment of E3, I think.
Oh, this is so bad.
In terms of embarrassing things, James, you like the awkward moments at E3 conference.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, go on.
They finished with FIFA 18. The men in blazers walked off the stage. We thought, how could this possibly get any worse? They cut to a YouTuber. What was his name, Matt?
Jesse Wellens.
This bit was so bad. Holy fuck!
I've watched it multiple times and it's so bad.
Who seemed to have had a complete meltdown in front of camera to the point where he couldn't get the name. He sort of said, he started off really confident. Hey, how's it going? I'm Jesse. I'm a YouTube I'm a YouTube creator.
I'm a YouTube content creator.
Yeah, I'm a YouTube content creator, and I'm going to talk about a game that. And he sort of just looks at the camera and he goes, Need for Speed. And then he stops and goes...
He didn't finish it.
He goes, Payback. The game's called Need for Speed Payback. Because as I say, I'm a YouTube content creator. And then he stops again completely. And he goes, what was it? Here's my man Graham or something.
No, yeah, I've watched this multiple times. I should know, but basically... I can't remember the guy's name, but it's like, here's my guy, say Jamie, and like Jamie's like a producer on the show, and then when Jamie comes out, it's like,
Wait,
hi Nick.
before you carry, oh shit, I'm sorry, I talked all over you then, but before you carry that out, Jamie turned up. That is if it is his name, and clearly, like you might as well have seen a hand pushing him into shot because you were going,
like, get out there and save
this kid's fucked it.
This had better not be lies because this sounds
No,
amazing.
It's not lies. This is
Wait to see
incredible.
this.
No,
So
this is not lies.
as Matt said, he kind of goes, "Oh, here's my main man, Jamie. He's the lead producer on Need for Speed." And then he walks into shot, and then the YouTuber goes, "Hey, Nick."
Yeah. Hey Nick, it's so bad. Yeah. So and then after that, Jamie or whatever starts talking about the game, and he looks a little bit flummoxed, maybe because the whole thing's gone so shit up to that point.
Yeah.
And then Jesse just stands there with his hands in his pockets, clearly like, I have fucked it so bad.
We'll
And
never
then
get
even
this
when
kid again.
he says something afterwards as well, doesn't he? But he couldn't say the words "Need for Speed."
Yeah, he was a lot better after that, but yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say a lot better. He kept saying "Need for Speed" like that. It was just all very, very weird.
The thing is, like, so I know I've watched Jesse's like YouTube stuff for years now. He's done loads of collaborations with Casey Neistat and stuff. His vlogs are really good. But someone saw him and was like, "Oh, amazing, Jesse!" And then just within 30 seconds, he totally fucked it. He's since done a vlog about it, and he said basically there's scripts were changed, and then there's like issues, and then but he also did just freeze. He admitted that.
You know. He's totally open to be ripped apart over this.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He
He's
has
actually
taken the job as a presenter without any presenting experience, right? And thought, yeah, I can do this. And turns out, as we said like a few weeks ago, didn't we, Sean, when we were talking about something else, there's actually a skill to it.
Yeah.
You know, if your teleprompter goes down, you need to have that charisma to fucking carry on going. You can't just wet yourself like that. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, but basically, he was told that after the FIFA thing, there'd be like 2 trailers and something else. Instead of that, and basically, when the camera first goes on him, he's actually facing the wrong way, and that wasn't planned. He was basically, on his vlog, he said that he was told, FIFA happens, then 2 trailers, and then you'll be on. So he was basically, relaxed, watching the stuff on screen, and then they're basically like, go, essentially. He turns around, not expecting to be ready, not expecting to need to be ready, and the teleprompter was working, although he said there's some changes with the script. Anyway, whatever. Either way, he froze, and it was horrendous.
He fucked it. So then they showed Need for Speed Payback. Pardon me, and it was at this point where I thought, actually, things are looking a little bit better. I think Need for Speed Payback looks good. I think it. I think
it's really good.
Yeah, I've heard people talk about it since, and it's all been positive. What they're doing with this is, I mean, as we were saying last week, it's pretty much Fast and Furious, Need for Speed. So a lot of cutscenes between driving bits and.
See, that looked like it'd do my head in, but then I don't think I was ever the target audience for this. So
I've heard that it's not as cutscene heavy as originally thought from that trailer.
Yeah.
But the crashes just look amazing.
It looks very, very Burnout.
It did look very Burnout.
It's got like you obviously take in this one mission they're showing us. You take other people, other computer controlled people down, and the crash cam looks exactly the same angle even as Burnout. So yeah, it looks basically Burnout with Fast and Furious, a bit of Forza Horizon and Need for Speed. I think it looks really, really good fun.
Yeah, I think it's got potential. And I was pleasantly surprised. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. Okay, cool. We'll move on. Oh God!
So
right now, this is where
though. Did they have? So, would you say that the EA one was probably the worst of the of the set?
Whoa, hold on. We can't be dropping.
What I mean, in terms of like mess ups and errors and stuff like that, or have I got more to look forward to with that?
I think I could potentially argue that another conference had a worse mess up, but
really? not
as obvious as that. But I think I could argue probably with Sean about this a little bit later
so it's
in
Nintendo
the show.
Then, yeah? Okay.
Possibly. Well, I'm not fucking dropping anything. What are you talking about? Okay, fine. Right. Okay, so next, this guy come on stage. I didn't know who he was, but he was the developer of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Did you ever play that, James?
I've got it, but yeah, I've never played it.
Oh man!
Oh mate,
it's very good.
So good.
Yeah.
Sean, James, please play that. I'm only saying that because I know you will absolutely love that game. It's really, really good. So he come on stage. It was his new game. He just took the show up You know, like he was really positive. He was really excited to be there, really enthusiastic. I mean, at one point, he completely lost what he was saying. You know, he didn't know what to say next, but turned around and said...
And go on, Dave, you say it.
Yeah, he sort of turned around and said, sorry, I'm just really in love with games and what they do, and it's so exciting to be here. And I was just thought, yes, mate, you go. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
This guy, his name was Joseph Fares, or Fares. He was caught either really super excited or nervous. He got his own surname wrong when he came out.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he's like Joseph Fares. So yeah, but he was really enthusiastic. Yeah, he really brought the atmosphere up, especially after that fucking Need for Speed intro. Yeah, so he was
it's
fantastic.
funny, isn't it? Because I mean, technically, he did totally fuck it as well. I mean, he clearly didn't say what he wanted to say on stage, but it just didn't matter because he sort of just dropped it all and just went, "Joe, what? I fucking love games, and I can't believe I'm standing here to show you my new game."
He said he can do anything in this game. I promise. Well, I can't guarantee it, but I know you're going to love it. You know, he sounded like there wasn't a script at all.
Nah.
Yeah. So just to confirm, so this guy, he was one of the original guys who worked on Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, but he's since set up a new studio called Hazelight, and this is their first game.
This looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited for this. It's called A Way Out.
Yeah.
Is that right? And it is a split-screen co-op game that can only be played in split-screen mode. And when you first hear that, you're kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? Then my mind was kind of going, oh shit, is it going to be like Journey, where you like randomly link up with random people? I think that could still be in there, but that's clearly not what they're going for at all. So it can be played online, co-op. It can be played local, same so far. It is basically it looks like a bit like an Uncharted game without the sort of extra amount of cash to smarten it up a bit. But everything's done in split screen. And when I say split screen, obviously you instantly think a line down, like vertical or horizontal with a screen either side. It's not like that at all. The split in the screen moves. It emphasises one side over the other. It has like picture in picture every now and then.
We should probably tell him what the actual game is.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain. Like, as I say, it's kind of like an Uncharted game, but you're two sort of convicts trying to escape. Is that right?
Trying to get out of prison, yeah.
It's a co-op prison break game, essentially.
But that makes it sound too...
Kane and Lynch? You know, like two crazy...
Well, do you know, I did sort of think about that a bit, because Kane and Lynch, as shite as it was, did do some clever things with, like, you know, two players having different perspectives on things and different interpretations.
No, it didn't. It shows you from one side. One player was one side of the map, the other player was the other side of the map, and you were just shooting at the same enemies. That was about the long and short of Kane and Lynch. Well, two. Anyway, I didn't play the first one. Okay. This one seems like one person could be in a cutscene while the other one's doing stuff. You could be completely different parts of the prison, and when I say you're kind of limiting that by saying it's a game where you break out of prison, it's kind of not that. That seems like the beginning bit of it, because it was showing different locations and different settings and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a little bit more expansive than that. I also have a feeling, I could be wrong, I also have a feeling it's going to be quite a short game. I don't think it's going to be like a full-on 15-hour thing.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be the sort of game...
If you have to play co-op, I would imagine it's not going to be a terribly long game.
No, like 5 hours would be...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And it definitely feels like two games being played side to side that cross over every now and then, rather than one game like normal co-op as you know it.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, you are now both in this level, you both start at the same point. It was like, you know, the example they showed that was really cool was like, so one of the characters at the start of the game is already in prison while the other one's being thrown in prison. So like they showed this bit where, like, you know, so player one's like walking around on this walkway above and like watching the other guy get searched and stuff. So it's not asynchronous as such, but it's like the two of you can be doing very different things.
I do love the fact that one can be in a cutscene, the other person can be controlled. I mean, there's going to be hilarious things where someone's in a cutscene and you just jump in front of the camera or do something crazy like that. But it will do things so maybe you're in one part of prison or location and you have to maybe distract someone while the other person runs past them, or maybe I get the impression that they've each got different attributes. Maybe one's stronger and one's faster, and I've got an impression that can be that's going to support different puzzles and whatnot. Only one of you can do a certain type of puzzle, or only one of you could lift a certain thing. So this looked fantastic from the first moment I saw it. Really.
It also kind of made me feel that, do you know when you're in school or whatever and you're going on a school trip and the teacher turns around and goes, right, get in pairs. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, God, where's my mate? I need to pair up with him before you go. That was exactly what I felt like when I saw that game. I was like, Matt, we're playing this together. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if Matt, we're playing it together. Yeah. So sorry, James, I mean, literally everyone's paired up now. You have to go with teacher.
And you have to do it in your pants. That game's coming early 2018. So
was this
looking forward to that?
Was this like EA's like indie game thing? Or what was the thing?
Basically,
it didn't feel like an indie game. It felt like a AAA game, didn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
It certainly didn't look like it'd been stylised down. It looked like
this is an EA
Uncharted.
Original. What was that one they had last year? Which is an EA Original. Is the one with the fabric and whatnot.
Oh, Jesus, what was it
you
called?
Talk about, that was a few years ago.
Yeah,
Untangled
Untangled,
Unravel.
Or Unraveled, whatever. Yeah,
Unraveled,
this is another one from that. They said they've had hundreds of submissions, and then they gradually, bring that down to a few. And this is one of the new EA originals.
Okay, cool. Moving on. Next thing I've got written down is Frostbite with Scorpio demo. Didn't blow me away. I don't even remember that.
Well, the thing after that was this thing called Seed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
what was that about?
This guy comes out and it basically starts talking about this thing called SEED, which stands for Search for Extraordinary Experiences Division, and it's all about deep learning and neural networks. And it basically uses player data to power NPCs and other games, so we could all buy the same game, but based on the things I've done in game, or maybe in other games that will change.
Don't even remember this.
Yeah,
it was very odd.
I was sort of switching off. It's only because I heard on other podcasts that they explained this a bit more. But yeah, it's all seemed a bit weird and a bit a bit vague. But I get the impression they're somehow harnessing player data to change players' games and change their experiences in other games. Anyway, Seed coming at some point.
And then Frostbite on Scorpio. I mean, it really, really didn't impress me but I haven't got I wasn't streaming in 4K, so it was kind of like, weren't too bothered. Then they dropped probably the biggest bombshell of definitely the biggest bombshell of their conference. They showed the new BioWare game.
Right.
Anthem is the name.
Okay.
Go on.
What?
I was going to guess what I thought it was going to be, but that doesn't sound like
you're
it.
probably right.
What do you think the theme is?
I don't know. Now you got the name, it's totally ruined it, because I thought it was going to be some sort of like Destiny MMO kind of thing, or is it not?
You ain't far off, James. It was.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah, it did. It definitely got a Destiny. Did they sort of confirm that it's all online?
Well, so with EA, we got just a little teaser, didn't we? And then it was like, tune in to Microsoft tomorrow for a proper demo.
We'll
I don't know how you.
Then.
Yeah, do you want to save it? Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a trailer at that point. But
they kind of all they said to you at the time was that you're playing as humans that are stuck behind a wall, and there's something the other side of the wall, and we don't know what it is yet, and you'll find out more tomorrow at Microsoft. So
and you got robot suits.
Fine.
That was the only thing they showed. Yeah.
That's right. Then they did NBA Live 18. Fine. Okay.
I don't remember a single thing about it.
It's another EA game with a story mode. This one's called The One. It's basically trying to do what NBA 2K did years ago. And but yeah, it's yet another EA game with a story mode.
Okay. Then they went on some big long rant about the charity work they do, which I thought was a bit weird. It was kind of
we're not evil, honest.
We want all your money, but we do charity work. Like it was, a bit strange. And then it ended with 30 minutes of Star Wars Battlefront. 30 minutes. And
way too much.
It was too much, wasn't it?
When you say,
I don't think it was.
When you say,
I would argue against that.
Okay, when you say 30 minutes, is it like 30 minutes of like a mixture of stuff like campaign, multiplayer, or is okay?
Oh no, it's all multiplayer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just
the actual demo was all multiplayer. Yeah, but they talked
it was
about
all multiplayer. So they basically talked about the game. This I don't know the actress that's one of the main parts in the game come out, and she presented the last like 10 minutes before they went over to show you all the sort of multiplayer games and stuff. She was fantastic. I just thought EA sign her up every year because she was enthusiastic, she was funny, she was I thought she was brilliant. And then when I was expressing this opinion in the Discord chat, everyone was going, "Oh yeah, come on Dave, you just fancy her, do you?" Yes, I do fancy her, but she was also exceptionally good at her job. And it really showed.
Her name is Janine Gavanka. I think she's been in other games as well, and one. I've actually, since she's also been on some of Giant Bomb live shows this week. She was excellent. A kind of funny video. Yeah, so I get the impression she's big into games anyway. And yeah, she was really enthusiastic. She was fantastic. She should definitely present EA every year, just like the woman who used to present the Ubisoft ones used to do every year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Battlefront looks fantastic. They said all the right things. The reason why I said the 30 minutes at the end was fine is they made it very clear that that's the end. There's 30 minutes at the end. If you want to hang around, hang around. If you don't, you're free to go. It felt like that sort of attitude.
Although,
I think that's a lot better than the end of some of the other conferences that were just, it might as well have just said, Finn.
Last year, I preferred it because last year they had the EA conference and they said, "Oh, by the way, after this, now we're going to have loads of Battlefield 1 multiplayer stuff." But this, I don't know, it just the way they described
That's what they did.
Yeah,
I was a bit upset, right? Because what they said was, and at the end we've got 30 minutes of Star Wars, and I was like, "They're going to show the other ones, the games we haven't seen much of."
Yeah.
And then it was pure Battlefront 2.
So there was nothing. They didn't show any of like the like Respawn or anything like nothing to do with that at all.
No, it's literally just about Star Wars Battlefront 2. So yeah, so Janine Gavanka come on stage and yeah, she was great. She mentioned about how Battlefront 2's gave a proper story mode. They were joking about John Boyega's tweet asking whether Battlefront 2 will have a proper story mode, and then they were joking they had loads of constructive criticism, clearly implying the fact that loads of people moaned the fact there wasn't really a story mode. In Battlefront 1, they had that. They mentioned the fact that Battlefront 2 bridges the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It's got 3 times the content of Battlefront 1, and it contains content from all eras of Star Wars.
See,
right.
I don't know. I'm a bit surprised by this because this whole conference doesn't sound like there was any like real big surprises at all. Like there was nothing.
There wasn't. There was no big surprises. I think A Way Out looks pretty good. I think Need for Speed looked pretty good, but it wasn't a great way to start E3.
No.
And the mood was kind of not down because there was still a lot ahead of us, but it was a little bit like, okay, but it is EA, so they're not one for surprises, are they really? So fine. They've got the games coming out that we knew were coming out, plus a couple of cheeky extras in there. Fine. So let's never talk about the Men in Blazers again, and let's all move on with our lives.
So there's really nothing else about Star Wars at all, just Battlefront. Like,
well, afterwards, they then cut to some feed about fucking Galaxy of Heroes, whatever it's called, the mobile one.
Yeah, they did.
Which apparently is pretty good if you're into those.
Those sort of games.
Yeah. Okay. Also, one thing about Battlefront 2, this feels much more like a standard Battlefield with a Star Wars skin rather than a dumbed down Battlefield game.
It looked a bit more.
And there was like a campaign trailer, and I'm really interested in it. I'm definitely get just because it's got a campaign this time, and even the multiplayer stuff they showed, it felt much bigger and more bombastic and grander than stuff I'd seen on Battlefront 1.
Yeah, it looked like it was starting to include things that I felt were missing from the old. Sorry, missing in Battlefield, the new one. That was fuck me, I've forgotten how to speak. Things that I liked about the old Battlefield games that weren't in Battlefront. I said Battlefield, didn't I? Not Battlefront. Fucking hell! Can we just delete this?
You're right, mate.
No,
What's
I'm
going
not.
on, son?
What the fuck is going on? Let's start again. Let's just. Yeah, my fucking feed's gone. Fuck me. Right. Yeah, it looks
James,
like
do you have a
they're including.
He's going off script. Is the problem?
You've completely fucked this live for us. There was no E3, there was no EA conference,
Yeah, never
James. That
happened.
was all bullshit.
We've just been making it up, and I'm bad at lying. Fuck me, right?
Actually, yeah, if I was to try and work it out, Sean is the one I would target to try and find out if it was real or not, because I don't think he's as good at lying as David and Matt are. It's
I'm pretty good at
Go on then.
Right, I'll just do that again. Sorry, Dave, you'll have to edit it. Or don't and make me look stupid.
Not editing that. No chance. Go on.
Yeah, it looks like they're including things that I really liked about the old Battlefront games that were missing in the most recent one. Like they showed this big battle in Naboo, which was in Naboo. It involved in a shit film, but really nice location, and it did look fucking stunning on the footage they showed. And yeah, there's just like more vehicles cutting about and people getting onto like little walkers and a fucking tank like blasting through the streets and stuff.
It's got split screen co-op. It's got space battles. Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Right, okay, so moving on to Sunday, the day before I met up with Matt on our holiday, we watched the Microsoft conference. It was 2 hours long.
Okay, this is the one I'm interested. Go on.
I will run through my notes through the start because it was all pretty quick fire before they got to the first game, even though I've got a ton of notes. Here's what I've written. New Xbox trailer. Console looks smart. So initially I looked at the console and I thought, actually, that looks fucking smart. It pretty much looks like an Xbox One S.
So it's white, yeah? Mm. It's another...
No, it's black.
Okay.
It's black. The only thing that was confusing me was where the disc went in, because there's no disc slot where there's a disc slot in the Xbox One S, but it looks like it goes underneath.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a lip, a bit like the S, and it goes underneath. I saw that and thought, oh my god, hang on, there's no disc drive. What?
Can I ask questions about this?
Hold on, let me just get to the end of this bit. Phil Spencer walked out in a Player One shirt. That was weird. They announced the name is Xbox One X. Yeah. It's released on November the 7th. Very important date, isn't it, James?
Yeah,
very important date. And what man comes out and lists specs, people shouting yeah.
Yeah, basically the head of Xbox software, and you've actually missed something else from the trailer.
Hold on one sec. We go back to the trailer in a minute. I also put it's fully backwards compatible. They announced that, so all your Xbox One games play on it. And it's the smallest Xbox they've ever made, which I thought was a massive surprise, but no one's mentioned it since. Like, it doesn't matter, which it doesn't really. But I mean, that's pretty impressive to make the most powerful console. And it's also the smallest one they've ever made.
Well, I don't know. Until, like, a couple of months down the line, we got all these reports of, like, heating problems and stuff like that.
We'll see. Yeah. Ever the optimist, James Farley. What did I miss?
James, there's no chance for this, because this one's got a liquid-cooled vapor chamber.
Has it really?
Yeah, man.
It has, yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Fucking
what does that do?
That's just one of those things for those people that build
PC graphics cards use it.
Yeah. Right, okay, fine. What have I missed then?
Well, but basically, in the opening sort of teaser video, which had lots of microchips whizzing past and whizzy lights and whatnot, they also had this bit where they had lots of, it looks like LED lights, and they were creating shapes of mascots. There's like a car one, and there's some other characters you recognise. They also showed the Master Chief helmet at that point, and I was like, oh my fucking god! I was like, this is going to be an incredible conference.
Okay, cool, fine.
But so that makes it sound, Matt, though, that it wasn't now. Like, by just saying that, it makes it sound like
No, there's more.
I don't know.
But can I ask a question, though, about it? Does the machine, does it have, like, any sort of display on it? Because, there was that whole thing that hasn't got anything on there. That was just the dev kit.
No, I mean, I'll be honest with you, not that we know of. And you'll find out about that later, probably by the time that we finish.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. The first game that they showed off to show off the power of the Xbox One X,
wasn't it?
Let's talk about that quickly. The title. You said to me, "Oh, I hate the title." The funny thing is about this is that in a roundabout way, Sean absolutely predicted the title last week on the last show.
I thought you said Xbox Eon.
He did, but he was joking because we said, "How can you call it Xbox?" Because we were talking about Xbox 2 or something. No, Matt called it Xbox. And I said, well, the order would be Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox. And then Sean said, maybe it would be called the Xbox X. So, wasn't that far off. I know he's taking the piss.
I'll tell you what,
pretty
some people I game with, they were saying that, because they were trying to feed me rubbish as well to annoy me, and they said it was called the Xbox One 2. And it was written like and it was written Xbox 12, but it was pronounced 1-2. I thought it was pretty good.
The Xbox 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
I understand why they've called it this. I do not see where they're going to go after this. That's my thing. So the way they showed the Xbox on stage from that moment forward, there was one picture. The Xbox One S with the Xbox One S written above it, and the Xbox One X with the Xbox One X written above it. That, to me, seems clean, tidy. Do you want an Xbox? Yes. Well, you can buy the S or the X. You know, the basic or the Pro. It works for me. I totally get that. What I don't get is the next iteration in 3 to 4 years' time. What is that going to be called?
No, because what they'll do is they'll probably just keep the naming convention, won't they? And it's just that they'll have a base one and then a a next one that's even better. They'll just keep doing that.
Go on. Well, what's that going to be called?
No, they won't. They'll just call it. They'll do like Apple do with the MacBook and the MacBook Pro. They'll release a new one out, but it's still called a MacBook. It's still called a MacBook Pro. It's just they're better than the ones were before.
Wait, hold on. So the next one is going to be called the Xbox One X as well?
Yeah. The next high performance one would be, but then the next.
I don't fully agree with that. Okay. What did you think of the name, Sean?
It's the same problem as you. I don't like it, but I understand the naming convention they're trying to establish. But then, where do you go?
It's because Pro was taken, wasn't it? So they had to go with something else, and it's it's fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Matt, any thoughts?
I like the name. It's fine. I mean. Yeah, it doesn't offend me. The whole S and X thing, I think that makes sense, as you say. If you abbreviate it, it spells out Xbox, so it's a bit an X-bone. Yeah. Fine.
I genuinely think the console looks really nice.
I think it looks great. Yeah.
I think it looks a lot better than the PS4 Pro. Again, means nothing, but visually the console, it looks really nice.
Okay. I've got more. I can keep asking questions, right? With this.
No, you've got a limit to 6 questions.
But last time I did, you were like, no, don't ask them yet. But okay, is the
no? Sometimes I'll do that because we can't answer them yet.
Right.
Okay, so don't feel that I'm knocking you back.
Has the new machine got a new controller as well, or is it the same?
No. It didn't appear to have a new controller. The controller that they were using with it was exactly the same as the current Xbox One pads.
Right.
And they made a point of saying all the stuff that you use on your Xbox One, you'll use on your One X. Okay? Cool. Right.
Pricing?
So the first game they showed off was, of course, Forza Motorsport 7. Yeah.
It was such a weird tease as well, because the way they started it, they said his first game or his first trailer, and you see a desert location. And I was like, oh, hang on, what is this going to be? Yeah. And it's slow panning shots over a desert. I was like, oh my god! And you see a city in the background. I was like, oh my god, well, what is this going to? What game is this going to be? And then you see camels crossing the desert. I was like, okay. And then you see someone walking towards you, and then
you see Pac-Man just rolling down the desert.
It's a man. It's Forza again, isn't it? It's what? It's just a weird opening tease.
It was so strange as well because you know me, I'm very cynical about the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X and what have you, but when they showed those initial shots of just the landscapes and stuff, I was like, oh my god, that does look fucking real, right? It's fair dues. But then by the time it got to the cars, I was like, it just pretty much looks good, but I don't know.
See, I don't know. I watched why they would do this.
Hold on one sec. I watched it afterwards in 4K, and it looks stunning.
Okay. Yeah, and today stunning. I actually watched it. You can also download 4K HDR uncompressed video, and I watched that today on an OLED screen. It does look amazing. Yeah. It looks utterly incredible. Some of the weather.
Why does it have to go one better, Matt?
Because I'm on YouTube compression. Jesus, I'm not a monster.
But you see, I get that it looks amazing. Good, but surely they must know by now that this is really played out. like doing this, and like
you say, it's cliche, but we're people that are not insanely into racing games. I mean, I love racing games, so I did like it, but it didn't blow me away, obviously, because it's a racing game, and we always see new hardware showing off new racing games. It's as you say, it's a cliche, but what can you do? That's the game they chose, and that was fine. The game looks good. Forza games are excellent, and I've got no doubt that this will also be excellent. Then they went to stage, and they showed off the new Porsche 911 for the first time.
Yeah,
it was world exclusive.
That was
a
weird.
lot of people have been dissing this. All I'll say is that I think it's quite impressive that they got to show off this car on stage for the first time in the world.
Yeah, but
haven't they done this before? I'm sure they've done this before. Yeah, I'm sure Microsoft
they've had
a
cars
car on stage.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time they had like an exclusive car that no one's seen in the game, but this they had the actual physical brand new Porsche 911 GT2 RS there on stage.
Yeah, never been seen before. What were you going to say, Sean?
I just don't care.
I know you don't care, but you did. I mean, there's many things you don't care about in these conferences. But
yeah, I know what you mean. Like in terms of, obviously, in terms of getting the conference talked about by the mainstream press, then yes, of course, it's a huge win. So I get it. It's just
Well, that's not the only reason, is it? It's people that are bang into their cars. It's quite an iconic car. Going, holy shit! I need to look at the new Porsche 911. Where can I find it? Oh, it was shown for this new racing game on Microsoft's new console. That's the idea behind it. They want racing people that are fans of cars to turn their heads and look at I hope
I hope there were loads of motorsport journalists who had to go to that conference because they had a tip off, and then they had to sit through
just
the whole
experience
thing.
Them.
Phil Spencer was on one of the Giant Bomb live shows, and he said that they had more coverage about it on motorsport websites and magazines and whatnot about this, just because I had this world exclusive. So
yes, I do.
It's a good move, I thought. A good move. He then went on to say that during this conference they will be revealing or showing 42 games, 22 of them Xbox exclusives.
Wait. Do you mean Xbox platform exclusives or the new console exclusive?
Right, let me answer this. Would they ever say that on stage? Do you honestly think that I know that? There's no possible way I could answer that question. A few of them come out later and said, no, actually, as seems like standard at E3 these days. But what I will say is that it was pretty impressive the amount of stuff they were showing off that had exclusive before.
Yeah, but everything had exclusive, and they invented new slogans of exclusivity. Which
they did.
Were like, what does that even mean? Like one of them,
they did.
One of them. So there's Xbox and Windows 10 exclusive, and one of them was console launch exclusive. Well, no, a few of them were that actually. And does that mean it just launches on the console first?
Yeah, I think it just means it's timed, doesn't it?
Does it mean it never launches on their other platforms or what? I mean,
it's a bit of a mess. The first game they announced in this 42 game run, if they hadn't have already included Forza 7 in that, which they probably have, I've just realised now. Metro Exodus. It's a new Metro game. I'm not bothered by Metro. I didn't like the first two games. Admittedly, I didn't play the second one for too long at all. I played the first one for quite a bit. Wasn't a massive fan of Metro. This does look pretty impressive, though. I mean, visually, it was probably the best-looking game they showed off. Yeah. Did you say that, Matt?
That or Forza. I mean, there's a couple of others that look pretty good. But yeah, the opening few games looked brilliant, and I think they gradually went down. But yeah, this game, I haven't played the Metro games before. I know they were great. But this game looks really great.
It does, and it's had quite a bit of buzz about it since. I just hope it's not. Did they have a release date for this?
I didn't write one down. Forza is out October 3rd, by the way, so that's obviously going to come out on other platforms first, and then Xbox One for launch.
Well, I mean,
One X for launch.
Same
Well,
game.
it would just come out on Xbox and have that upgrade there ready for you on November 7th, basically. Which is quite a good idea, actually, because for those of people that want to play Forza 7, they'll get to see the difference quite clearly when they go from Xbox One to Xbox One X. Mm. That makes sense. Release it a little bit earlier, get people used to how it looks on the Xbox One, then release it on the Xbox One X to say, wow, shit, that does look better.
It's the same disc. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well,
they just said
so. That's how it works on PlayStation.
They said a load of existing games are getting a patch, didn't they, to make them do extra shit on the One X.
But for this, so if I could buy Forza 7 on October 3rd, buy it in a regular sort of green Xbox box and whatnot, and then I play it on my Xbox One, and then I get a new console, and I'll just put the same disc in it. Okay,
I'm pretty sure that's the.
People would go mental if it was two separate games, wouldn't they?
Yeah. You have to buy it again, guys. Then they went on to Assassin's Creed. The new Assassin's Creed is called Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's set in Egypt.
We knew that already,
and it looks probably. I think
I know the title had leaked. Yeah.
People were saying to me, "Oh, like to James about when it's set." So it's ancient China, but I'm pretty sure that Egypt stuff leaked beforehand.
They've already done
China 2 weeks before.
So,
yeah.
What, Assassin's Creed? Chronicles.
It wasn't that good, but
no. So that looked fine. It looked like an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, it looks fine. They've had 2 years off.
Yeah. I was going to say, considering they've had a break and this should be a bold
big change.
Reinvention. The only things that seem to have changed is there's no mini map. Well done, guys. They've added. You've got an eagle, which is basically the drone from Wildlands. You just chuck it up,
which is basically the owl from Far Cry Primal.
And Watch Dogs,
no one gives a shit about.
Well.
Yeah.
Okay, again nicked from.
And they've added RPG elements so that sometimes when you headshot people or do a stealth attack on them, it might not kill them. Because you there's actual damage values on your attacks now, and you have to level
I didn't know
things
that.
up. Yeah, they showed there was one of the gameplay demos they showed afterwards. They're like,
that sounds horrible. I don't like the sound of that.
That sounds. They must change that surely, because that sounds like the most bollocks idea. It looks a bit like they've taken some cues from Breath of the Wild, although I guess this has obviously been in development for much longer. It being sort of totally open and.
How
that's
different
cool, I
did it look
guess,
structurally? Does it the same sort of structure?
It was a trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't have an on-stage demo during that.
There wasn't an on-stage demo, but it was a gameplay. It was a gameplay video. They had a trailer, but also had, they showed a mission basically, and it looks.
Oh right,
I haven't played many of them, but it looks like an Assassin's Creed game.
It's getting in the bushes, stabbing the man. Going around the corner,
stealth attacks.
Yeah.
I really thought they would, just taking you off. I really thought they would fundamentally change it, but who knows? Yeah, it uses a Destiny cursor UI now, which is interesting. I'm not sure if the previous ones did, but it's got a free run cursor now.
Right, okay, fine. They moved on to PlayerUnknown's Battleground, which is coming exclusive to Xbox One. We believe
console launch exclusive.
Yeah,
David.
console launch exclusive.
What is it?
I don't know about
it's massive.
Battlegrounds. Yeah, it's huge, man.
It's
one of these.
It's insanely big at the moment.
Yeah.
It's basically a game where you're all chucked onto a server, I guess, 100 players on one server at once, and you get one life, and that's it. Last man standing wins.
Battle Royale.
It's been huge. Yeah. We all knew this was coming to consoles. This was no massive surprise, but I think to get them on stage at Microsoft was quite good for them.
Yeah, and it comes out later this year. It's not like we have to wait a year, so hopefully they'll still be there when all the hype's happening around it.
It's going to be a weird one, though, because the game ain't finished. It's still in early access. And I don't know how consoles
how are they going to sell that?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine... what's Xbox's...
Xbox has got an early access thing.
Oh, that's right. It has. Yeah, sorry, it's PlayStation that doesn't, isn't it?
God, wouldn't that be weird if coming to early access on Xbox was their exclusive? Because that would be weird. And then it launched the final full product on both consoles at the same time.
I'm surprised if that is the case.
Yeah, that might, because this is what's held other games off PlayStation, in that they wanted to release it as an early access title, and Sony are just like, that is not a concept that we recognise. So, that might well happen.
I don't mind Sony standing up for that, to be quite honest with you, but there you go.
Yeah.
They showed a mining first-person shooter called Deep Rock.
Deep Rock Galactic. This looked wicked, I thought.
Deep Rock Galactic. It reminded me of that game. Do you remember when we played Farley's Game Club and I was the only one that actually fucking played the game? What was it called? It was Minecraft, but a first-person shooter. Now
shit.
this doesn't look
Another
like
one you mean.
Minecraft.
I don't remember that.
It wasn't great.
Yes, because you didn't fucking play it, James. It's a mining shoot 'em up, but it looked co-op to me. It didn't look competitive.
So you'd have like
sort of co-op.
you and three of your mates all being space dwarves and digging down, finding precious minerals or whatever, and then occasionally you'll find a hole in the wall, and then millions of fucking spiders and stuff will start pouring out of it, and suddenly it's like Earth Defense Force. So yeah, I thought this looked pretty good, man.
It looks okay. Yeah. I wasn't hating on it. They moved on to State of Decay 2. It's an exclusive. They showed a trailer. I put, looks like State of Decay. Nothing interesting.
Is it, Did they
that was quite good.
Did they confirm if it was multiplayer this time? Because that was the main issue with the first one, right? As it was supposed to be, and
I
then
don't
just
know.
it wasn't.
They certainly didn't confirm it in the trailer, but they might have confirmed it since.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I was really... I thought initially I thought the trailer was shit, but then it really did a great... I thought this was beautifully done. It really did a great... It was a great idea to show off what State of Decay is about for people that don't know it. So it starts off as a protagonist talking about his life in this sort of zombie world and what he needs to do to protect the people around him and who he can trust and who he can't trust and what he's got to do to stay alive and survive around this, and then dies in the trailer. And then the trailer continues with a new narrator and a new character. And I thought actually that's really good. I like that. I don't care about the game. I just thought that explained what State of Decay is very well.
Yeah, I like the first one. It was janky as fuck, but I did enjoy it. I would have liked to play it longer, but it's just so janky. This graphically, you compare this to what we saw of Forza Horizon. I know it's different. Forza 7. I know it's a different type of game, and also Assassin's Creed and also Metro. And this looked like an Xbox One game. It did not. I could not see, the 4K powerhouse of Xbox One X in this game.
We should talk about this at the end because that's a sort of running theme throughout the rest of the conference. But I've got an opinion on that. Right. Another I'll read you my notes because this pretty much explains it. Another exclusive. Cartoon graphics. Oh God. On-stage commentator. Looks awful. Third-person hero style game. The Darwin Project.
Yeah.
God,
so they showed the Darwin Project, which looked like a third-person Overwatch made on about a 50th of the budget.
Yeah, it's all cel-shaded kind of third-person multiplayer shooter.
It started with like a pre-rendered trailer, which looked fine, right? And then there was like a bit of gameplay, and everyone went, "Oh no, what's this?
What have you done?"
What made it so funny is that it looks so bad, and when you watch Overwatch, there's shit going on all over the place. You watch this, and there was nothing going on, and they had this guy on stage pretending to commentate on the game.
Yeah, it was a
that was being
shoutcaster.
played in the trailer, and I'd never heard of Shoutcaster before before that day, and I never want to hear it again. It was a guy just going, rah, 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 and it was so cringeworthy. My toes were like proper. I mean, I didn't think they could curl back more than they did for the EA thing, and they didn't, but they were fucking close. It was, the fact that it wasn't a fuck up and he did as he was told made it kind of worse. So yeah, nothing much interesting there. You'll never guess what game they moved on to next, James.
I don't know. We're not going to go through every single one, are we? Because these don't sound like amazing.
We can run through a lot of them pretty quickly, I think, now.
Yeah. They then moved on to Minecraft.
Right.
Have you heard of that?
Well,
Minecraft?
hang on. This was quite a good announcement, though.
Yeah, it kind of was. They're redoing the graphics in Minecraft, and it's in 4K, and they're sort of making it look better.
Hang on, that's not what I meant.
What was
so
the announcement?
The other announcement is that basically, at the moment, Minecraft is sort of fragmented between your PC versions, your console versions. The way they handle multiplayer is different. You can't like on the PC and tablet versions, you can have this, Minecraft Realms where it's like a permanent online server that you own, and you can get your mates in and stuff. Whereas on the consoles, it's like the host has to be online, and it's all a bit shit. They're enabling total crossplay between all versions, all consoles,
Hang on.
Windows 10, VR, and tablets.
So is that across all platforms as well, though?
Switch.
So it's mobile, VR, Xbox, PC, and Switch. There's one missing there.
The PlayStation,
which is
PlayStation not, because the announcement I saw just said and consoles. So
no, they later confirmed that Sony were not part of that.
Yeah. So basically, I was sort of watching that. I'll probably get the Switch version then.
The Switch.
So do you remember when there was all that conversation?
It's really good.
And now it has realms. Like we can just have a server and terrorize each other.
Multiplayer servers. Fine.
Do you remember when we had that conversation? Rocket League come out and said, "Look, we want Xbox One players to be able to play Rocket League with PlayStation players." And then Phil Spencer said, "We are up for that. We want that to happen too."
Yeah.
And then Sony said nothing, and we were thinking, is Sony really the problem here? What's going on? Pretty sure this confirms that Sony's the problem here.
Definitely, yeah.
And it's so weird because a generation ago, Sony had been well up for it, but now they're on top. Pull the ladder up.
Sony have actually commented since, and it's like it's almost like a Nintendo-like response. They said that they didn't want to endanger the safety of their players.
Oh, fuck
and
off.
so they wouldn't allow cross-platform play.
Jesus
it's total
Christ.
bollocks.
The only ones who've endangered the safety of their players in the past is them. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, true. That's a fucking good point. And it was also really weird seeing a Switch.
Oh yeah, it's a cool trailer.
On the video, like they showed a Minecraft version of the Switch on the Xbox stage, and it was kind of like a little gentle nod, I guess.
Yeah,
it was nice.
It was nice. Yeah.
I mean, you forget that it's owned by Microsoft now, right? So of course they're happy for you to buy it on whatever platform because
that's a good point. That is a good point. That was Minecraft. Dragon Ball Fighter X. We could probably skip.
Zed.
It's probably going to be great. It's been made by Arc System Works, who do the Guilty Gear games.
I'm hearing good things. Yeah. I've got no interest. And James, have you got any interest?
No, couldn't care less.
I bet
not for us. Not for us.
Right, this is what I've got here: sweeping landscapes, fantasy setting, fighting, looks average, Black Desert, MMORPG. What's Black Desert?
So I was well taken with this, right? Because it looked, properly up my street. Because it looked a bit Dynasty Warriors, and the graphics looked amazing. And then someone in the Discord was like, "Mate, it's already out on PC." He was, "Holy fuck!" Downloaded it. It's rubbish. It's just standard. Right. I mean, maybe it's great when you get into it, but just just the initial, just fucking loads of tutorials. The interface was pissing me off.
I'll cancel my pre-order then.
Yeah, was not into it. Good trailer though.
Next notes. Another exclusive: Sirens, City Skyline, Japan. Wow, this looks nice. The Last Night.
Oh yeah.
So this looked like a sort of like 2D,
Flash,
3D mix action,
sort of like flashback with fancier graphics.
It's point and click.
Yeah, like an adventure game.
Yeah, it's a point and click game.
Yeah, it's like it's got some really beautiful graphics crossed with some crazy sort of pixel art stuff. Sean's side there, and we all know why. I'll hand you over to Sean just so he can get his little bit out of the way.
I won't go into it. If you really bothered to listen to Midnight Resistance, I guess, because we banged on about it for about 15 minutes. Basically, one of the main guys making it has been a vocal supporter of Gamergate in the past. So,
he's apologised about that. He said he was wrong on some points. He didn't back down on other points. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not sure I 100% care. I mean, he wasn't... Unless he was actively going out abusing people, I don't know. He had some dangerous opinions, which he's since taken back. How long do you hold that against him, I guess? I don't know. We'll never know. We don't know the guy. All we can go from is Twitter. And let's face it, who can say that their Twitter reflects their personality? Because I know it doesn't for me. Although, admittedly, it could be dangerous. It's a grey area. It's a weird one. The game looks really nice, though. I'll be interested to see... I mean, it's not the last we've heard of this game, and it's not the last we've heard of this developer and his opinion on things. So I think there's more time to make a judgment rather than completely boycotting it from this point forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, James, you should definitely watch that trailer. I'd be interested to hear what you think.
Okay.
Okay. So that was
The Artful Escape was next.
this, right, made me belly laugh throughout in a very good way.
Yeah.
So what is it, like a side-scrolling
Not
platformer?
sure.
It's like a 2D sort of 3D papercraft looking platformer that uses the trailer. It had loads of like rock music in the background, and you see this character using what looks like his guitar and music to navigate levels.
Well, it didn't start like that. It just looked like a side-scrolling, as you say, that sort of art style game. And I thought, okay, this looks like everything we've seen. And then he just busts out this guitar, jumps in the air, and it just goes a bit crazy. And it just, like, because it was so unexpected, I burst out with laughter and didn't stop laughing and just thought, actually, I really like the look of that. I'm up for that. I'm going to keep my eye on it. So, yeah, keep your eye on that. The Artful Escape. Anime action game Code Vein, is it?
So this has already been announced, hasn't it? But
yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves time. This, for me, feels like it's going a little bit of the way of No Man's Sky. It certainly looks a lot more interesting than that. What I mean by that is, we're seeing stuff again that we've seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I get it.
Yeah,
It's
it was quite a long demo. It was like, was it 15 minutes or 10 minutes? It felt like quite a while. This
it was like 10 minutes.
Sea of Thieves demo. It looks great. It looks really good fun. The water, it looks absolutely stunning. The actual just the waves and whatnot. Again, there's a full gameplay demo of this guy narrating and basically showing what you do in a game and how missions work. It looked sort of, I think it looked great, and you basically can battle in your ships, but then you also can jump in a cannon and get fired off to various islands where there'll be almost like a mini boss, and you kill the boss to get the loot, and then you've got to get back to the ship. I think it looks really interesting. I think it was, you and a few mates, it could be hilarious.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. I just want it to come out now. I think we've seen quite enough of it.
My question was, do we know, are the missions or locations randomly generated, or are they all designed?
I don't know.
No idea.
Yeah, because if like maybe you can essentially keep sailing forever because there's constantly randomly generated islands and missions and caves and loot and whatnot, it could be awesome. But if it, I
don't think that'd be as good as having specific islands that you come across and going, guys, you've got to go here.
I guess, yeah.
Another exclusive. It's a space game, weird coloured characters, Tacoma.
Is this exclusive?
The trailer was. I don't know.
It must have said exclusive at the start, so maybe it was a timed one again. I don't know.
But this is the new game from Fulbright, who made Gone Home.
Oh, okay.
So
the trailer was
was it really?
short.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You must have heard of this game before, right, Dave?
Yeah, it's been shown.
This was shown
before.
last year.
I'm sure we've actually talked about this before.
Yeah, this was shown last year. It's been announced a couple of years now, but yeah, this is out August 2nd as well, so it's not too far away.
Okay, cool. Right, this is quite interesting. I put yet another exclusive, Tails. No, wait, just a fox. 3D platformer, looks pure gash. Gameplay looks so slow. It's Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
What?
Oh boy.
You might recognise that name, James, because basically Lucky's Tale was an Oculus VR game, and they've developed, I'm not sure if it's like a remake or they've just ripped out the VR and now it's on Xbox.
It looks terrible. I mean, if you'd still remembered it towards the end of E3, you'd definitely have forgotten it between then and now. It's really slow, really looks... I mean, I wasn't surprised to find out it was a VR game. VR games can't be too, like, crazy and quick. Yeah, I mean, it just... Well, obviously Nintendo showed Mario. I would like to see those two demos side by side, put it that way. Right. Less said about that, the better. Fine. Next up on my list is Cuphead.
Oh, does that still exist? Is that still
it's coming out?
Yeah, it's
29th of September.
29th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Very exciting. It was a nice trailer. It looks good.
I hope it is actually good, because I feel like it's going to be shit and then it's going to be sad.
The trailer was good, though. I like the way the trailer was done. It was,
But what if that's all it's got, is the art style? And I don't know.
They then moved on to Crackdown. They then moved on to Crackdown 3. It is out November the 7th. It looks like Crackdown.
Well, hang on. It doesn't look anything like Crackdown 3 we've seen before.
What's the visual style for this? Is it still...
What do you mean, Sean?
Do you not remember how it looked in the first trailers we saw? This is a different game. They've definitely just binned it and started again.
No, well, you say that, but you've not heard about the stuff that's come out since, have you, I see?
Okay, go on.
So, Giant Bomb... So basically, right, just for James... They showed the game and it was lots of jumping and shooting and explosions, basically. It didn't really show too much. They didn't do a live demo, did they? I don't think.
No, it's just a trailer.
They didn't show any of the cool stuff. It was just a trailer with the announcement of the date at the end of it. It looks similar art style to what we're used to with Crackdown. Like I said, I couldn't see them showing that game off first on Xbox One X because it's not a visually stunning game. In my opinion, it never has been. Sean is pointing out that it showed none of the destruction stuff that seemed like such a big push at the start. Giant Bomb took the developers to task for this, and they said, what we were showing was the single-player content in that trailer. It was a single-player campaign trailer. All of the cloud stuff, all of the destruction stuff, that's all in the multiplayer. Okay. So when you go online, that's when all that stuff happens. And they said the way they see it is that the first, the single-player side of it is you playing through the game. The multiplayer side of it is you destroying the game, completely blowing it to pieces. So yeah, kind of makes sense. If that's bullshit, then they are definitely going to be taken to task for that. Because they even specifically said a lot of people thought after watching that trailer, we've seen a lot of comments of people saying they've just dropped that side of the game. No, we haven't. There's two sides to this game, essentially. So I'd be really interested to see what they release in terms of explaining that leading up to its launch on November 7th.
Dave, you said that they showed campaign, for this.
Well, it was like a quick montage of music, and it was well cut, and it just shooting explosions, Matt, and whatnot.
This is very vague. Can you be a bit more specific? What they had?
Well, I can't remember how exactly, but it had some music. It's just a trailer.
People jumping around.
I'm just repeating what you just said.
Shooting guns.
I'll tell you why.
No, I've seen this conference twice, and it was a really uninspiring trailer.
Yeah, it was. It was a very uninspiring trailer. And it wasn't, by the sounds of it, as I say, I got more information from the 10-15 minutes these guys were on Giant Bomb than what they showed in this trailer. By the sounds of it, it's going back to the completely open Crackdown 1, where you could just go and take down these sort of bosses as and when you want. There's no, by the looks of it, there's no cutscenes. They're not trying to do that side of things with it. It looks like Crackdown. I think everyone's going to be more impressed with the multiplayer stuff. Maybe they should have shown that instead.
I guess. It's hard to see where the extra development time has gone. It did not look great at all. But who knows?
It's Crackdown, isn't it? It'll be all right.
I guess.
They did a game compilation video. I've just put that. I haven't mentioned any of the game. They just put lots of games.
Just the idea Xbox bit.
Yeah. Idea Xbox, yeah. Anything you want to pick out?
I'm scanning the names now. The only one that really stood out to me, because I've seen it at Rezzed, was Ooblets, which is really cool. It's like a cross between Harvest Moon and Pokemon, where you sort of grow in little plants and then you have to make them fight with the other plants. And yeah, it looks really cool. Beyond that, nothing else really grabbed me, I don't think. Oh, Fortnite looks alright, I guess.
They then showed a game called Ashen, which looks like a co-op Dark Souls game.
Yeah.
It was so embarrassing. There were so many links to Dark Souls that it got a bit embarrassing.
Yeah.
Even opened with a woman's voice going, "Oh, the light and the darkness," and it was like, "What the fuck is going on here? Is this taking the piss?" And then when it come up, the Ashen, I was kind of like, "Oh, come on, mate, let's just leave off." It looked like sort of, was it more cartoony than Dark Souls?
Yeah, it's like cel-shaded and yeah.
Yeah, so whatever, fine. Then I genuinely got a little bit of a lump in my throat for the next trailer. Genuinely. I know it was such a surprise that it was shown. I don't know why, but it was such a surprise that it was shown on Microsoft stage. Because I suppose what it was is that we saw trailer, and, just sort of like it all seemed to be going a little bit more niche. And I suppose this is still niche, but they just come out and just went, and they played the Life is Strange 2 trailer.
Well, hang on. I got confused about this. This isn't Life is Strange 2.
Is this the prequel thing?
This is the prequel thing, yeah.
Is that separate from Life is Strange 2?
Apparently, yeah, because this is being handled by a different studio, yeah. So this is a 3-part prequel about Chloe and Rachel.
Oh, to tide you over.
Yeah.
But the music, I mean, it certainly looks better than Life is Strange did.
Yeah.
Like visually, they've put a little bit more money into how it looks.
Yeah.
But the music got me, and the shots of Chloe got me. I really liked it. It was just a really lovely moment in the middle of the conference there.
The first of 3 episodes is actually out in August, so it's not too long to wait at all, which is great.
No, I will be picking that up.
Is that Xbox exclusive, or is it coming to others as well?
No, they didn't say that. So yeah, I guess not. They then moved on to Shadow of War. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. The Shadow of Mordor sequel. Do you want to take over, Sean, because I don't give a shit about this?
Oh, okay, so basically this was good enough that maybe go back and finish the first one. Basically, yeah, they just showed a bit of a cutscene. Have you played the first one, James?
I've not, no.
Okay, you should.
I know
it's very
of
good.
it, but I know it's supposed to be amazing, but...
Yeah, basically. So in the first game, it introduces this nemesis system of you sort of fiddling around with the ranks of the orc armies, and it's all like at the end, it's like you've got you sort of recruit your own set of sort of orc chiefs, and then basically this game is like delving further into that. Like it's about you building an army, and yeah, they just sort of show you recruiting this one guy. And now I thought this was genuinely hilarious. Were you not fussed at all, Dave?
Are you talking about the witty banter?
I'm talking about the witty banter.
I could, it did make me smile and go, that's
I think
nice.
it's like because the first game was so fucking dour, and it was just cool to see that maybe they're taking a bit. But like it was so dour, but it was such a fun and stupid game. Whereas this seems like a bit more aware. Actually, they can maybe just have some fun with it. Like,
I mean, I hadn't played the first one, but it was just it's a bit too jokey. I didn't know what was happening really. I mean, it looks fine, but I was like, there's too much banter. Like, what is this about?
Can't handle it, mate.
What are these orcs dropping gags? It's just a bit weird.
I thought this looks fucking wicked. Very excited about
it. They then showed the new Ori and the Blind Forest game.
Oh, yeah.
I've got Ori and the Will of the Wasps.
Will of the
Waps.
Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
Will of the Wisps.
Yeah.
I mean, fine. I never played Ori and the Blind Forest, so it did nothing for me. But people that played that game seem to really enjoy that trailer, so that's a good sign.
That trailer looks absolutely mind blowing in 4K. It looks so good.
It does look good, yeah. I can't watch it though. Massive spider in it. They then moved on to backwards compatibility, James. They wanted to address backwards compatibility. Now, I'm a big fan of backwards compatibility, James. They announced that the original Xbox games are coming to backwards compatibility. Right. And my first thought was, why? Like, what?
You know how I feel about it. I really like backwards compatibility, but I also had the same feeling because I can't think of hardly anything I'd want to play off the original Xbox.
Okay, so I'll tell you this. They mentioned one game from the original Xbox that they were bringing to that they had sort of like a showcase game to say, we're bringing this game from the original Xbox onto the Xbox One. What do you think that game is?
See, I'm going to guess, but I'm definitely wrong. It wasn't Panzer Dragoon, was it?
Oh, fuck's sake, James.
No, it wasn't. That would have That would have been good. It was Crimson Skies.
I was going to say it wasn't like Brute Force or something.
No, it was Crimson Skies, which makes sense. People have been talking about that game for years, and maybe they should bring it back or whatever. Looked dog shit. Like, it was one of those moments where it was like, Crimson Skies, yeah, I love that game. Whoa, was that what it looked like?
Yeah, I think they've announced 30 games. They've said 30 games right now will be ready for this when it launches later this year.
So the complete Xbox library coming straight to Xbox.
So this is
clearly what they're working towards.
It doesn't matter whether it's for like Xbox X or whatever. It's all coming to the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's coming to the whole thing. They said it works the same way as the 360 stuff. So if you've got the disc, you can pop it in. You'll obviously be able to buy the digital versions of the game. So
I've already looked in CEX for games like Midtown Madness 3, which is 50p at the moment. I might pick up some old Xbox games.
I am so
we'll be able to play
up for that.
We could play Whacked again.
I'm also mashed fully loaded on Xbox One. Oh, sorry, the original Xbox.
Oh, we should absolutely play Midtown Madness.
It was 50p in CX now. Buy it now before it goes up in value soon.
All over that to 55p.
Did anyone find it a bit cringeworthy that they referred to them as OG Xbox games?
Yeah. Actually,
I didn't even pick up on that.
About this. Yeah. Did they mention about like online play though? Because all that was switched off.
They didn't say anything. Did they?
Online play is peer to peer, isn't it?
No, but it still has to go through them to like make the connections and everything, and they switched it all off.
I have a feeling that anything that goes on there, they'll switch that shit back on.
Because didn't they?
I mean, they've got to.
Didn't they? I'm sure they said something about Crimson Skies being able to play it online. Or did I maybe I've made that up?
Yeah, probably. I don't remember that. They moved on to the price of the Xbox One X.
Okay. Oh,
we know the price.
There was something before that. There was they announced a few games getting special 4K updates. Gears 4.
Oh, this was hilarious.
Yeah.
The next day, Matt had a long rant at me about how it was exactly what he said in the show last week.
It basically was exactly what I said, but
he was pissed off that we didn't accept it. And I had to remind Matt, we had none of us was saying that was never going to happen.
It's just rubbish.
We were just saying that is what was going to happen. We all knew that was going to happen. I don't understand why you're angry at me.
Just annoying, isn't it? Anyway, Gears 4, Forza Horizon 3, Killer Instinct 4, Halo Wars 2, and Minecraft are the ones so far getting special 4K enhancements.
Right.
Minecraft in 4K, lads. Come on.
Yeah, super duper.
And then
the edges on those blocks are going to look so good.
No, there's fuckloads more. But at this point, they mentioned
I've only got
price.
2 points down.
Well,
I've only got 2 notes. So you did that. You did that, and then we did the price. The price, James, is $499.
Right. Which is £499 or whatever. What's it in the UK?
£450 in the UK.
Okay. What did we guess? Because I don't remember what I guessed for that.
We'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about that. Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that next week. But what do you think of the price point?
Without remembering what I predicted, I thought it was going to be around that much. Because I thought it was going to be around sort of $399, like around that sort of level. So $450 is not bad. I don't know. I don't think that's not considering. I don't know. I don't think that's that bad. What do you think?
Well, I've got one more point down. Should we just do this overall Xbox One X stuff? Because I think Matt's very opinionated on this.
Oh, no, hang on. Can I ask another question? Because this is probably going to. No, all right, continue and then ask if you don't mention.
Matt, go on. Do your Xbox One react? Because there's only one game left to talk about. But I kind of want to. Now we know the price. I kind of want your feeling towards the Xbox One X overall on this.
Me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit more expensive than the Pro, and it looks good. I personally think they didn't do enough to sell it to people who may have like jumped off Xbox One and went over to PlayStation. I loved my OG Xbox. I loved my 360. But Xbox One, I just haven't really felt an affiliation with it. I've got one, but I just not really bothered about it. I really wanted this conference to make me think, yes, Xbox One X, you've got to get it. We've got the games, we've got what you want. We've changed our thinking from the Xbox One, and any mistakes we might have made, we're going to rectify. And it's just it's going to feel different. But this literally is. I mean, it is what they said it was going to be. It is just a better version of the Xbox One. It's the same family. It's going to play the same games as the Xbox One. But for me, there hasn't really been like a I've got to get this for this reason. It's way more expensive than the Pro.
Can I ask a question, right? So
hold on, no, not quite yet, because my point, Matt, to counter that is that we've been saying for a long time that the way the industry is going is no longer here's the new generation, like that massive buzz, that massive push. You need to get the new console that we're making, right? That's gone. That's going now. They want to release iterations, more powerful consoles over the next like with 3 to 4 year gaps, right? We need to understand, because I've seen the opinion you're putting forward everywhere, and it confuses me. If we are accepting that these companies now want to just make sort of incremental updates to their consoles, this is what it's going to be. There's not going to be a huge exclusive for the Xbox One X.
Oh, please,
there was
please,
never
can
going
I
to be.
Butt in, please?
Oh, wait, one sec.
No,
One sec.
it's driving me mad. I want to say something.
Let me finish. I'll come to you next. What my point is, it's not Xbox One X versus PS4 Pro. It's not. It's Xbox versus PlayStation. That's the way they're going to see it. If you want to join Xbox, you buy an S or an X. If you want to join PlayStation, you buy a 4 or a Pro. Now, the way they're looking at it, yes, they've got the more expensive console out, but they've also got the more powerful. So if you're putting in a lot of money and you want the most powerful console, you move over to the Xbox family. You don't move over to Xbox One X. You move over to the Xbox family. So they have to cater for both people that want the X and people that want the S. These games work on both consoles. That's the way the industry's going. I'm surprised that so many people are surprised by that.
I've got a million more things to say, but James, you go next.
Go on, James.
No, because the point I was going to make about that is that's true. Like, I totally agree with what you're saying with that. But from what you've said about what they've shown so far at this, I'm surprised that there isn't. It doesn't sound to me like there was anything here which is like a really big deal that would make anyone want to switch over. Like, really?
No, there isn't.
And that's the thing, because it's this. Maybe what you're saying, David, is true, but Microsoft with the Xbox X or whatever, it is kind of like a relaunch, really. This, because they're so far behind, like really, really far behind, like PlayStation. So they need something that's going to make people want to switch over. And it just sounds like they haven't.
I agree, but the Xbox One X is not going to be that. It was never meant to be a relaunch,
there should be
and
games
it's not
there.
a relaunch.
That's the thing. There should be the games to do that.
I totally agree. There was a distinct lack of wow moment from this conference.
So there was. Can I just ask, right? So there's no Halo. There's nothing to do with that, right? At this conference.
Yeah,
we've got one more game to discuss.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
There was no VR though either. They had nothing like that going on.
No VR.
No VR.
Absolutely no VR.
And actually, so again, like Phil Spencer was on Giant Bomb stuff, and they were saying, there's no VR announcement. What's that about? And he basically said, it's great other people get involved, and mentioning Sony and obviously Vive and stuff, but right now they still think they're some years away from VR being what it needs to be. And it's talking about wireless and headsets being lighter and more powerful and whatnot. So. Yeah, it basically said that they've built a super powerful machine for when VR really kicks in, and that's all they're going to say right now. So yeah, it feels like they have changed their tune quite considerably from last year. Maybe they've seen PSVR.
Is that surprising though, looking at PSVR?
No, and I think given PSVR, they've done incredibly well for what they've actually put in actually put out to sell, and they haven't actually produced enough to actually. If they produce way more to satisfy demand, then maybe they could sell 2 million, whatever. They haven't sold loads because they haven't put out loads out because they didn't want to risk it, I guess. Same with a couple of the games actually that come out recently. But so I think it makes sense for Microsoft to hold off for now. They don't need to jump in and do a VR headset. Sony have done that.
The VR buzz definitely has died down from even last year, I think.
Yeah. Basically, we are still 5 to 10 years away from proper VR happening. This is like super early adopter stuff. People are thinking, it's just like 3D TVs, VR's dead. No, VR was never going to just catch fire and blow up. This was always like a super, super slow burn. So it makes sense what Microsoft have done. They've built a super powerful console. If it's amazing in a few years' time, VR, then they'll do it. They've actually said, Phil Spencer said on the show, he said, they're concentrating more on their Windows 10 headsets for now. So, yeah, I don't think we'll see any VR stuff for them for a number of years. Who knows? It may be the next Xbox One X that gets VR stuff. Who knows?
But yeah, my original point is that I'm not surprised there's no exclusives for it. I do think the show was lacking a big bombshell.
That's what I mean.
It was lacking a big moment.
I wasn't expecting there to be exclusives for the new machine, just for the X, but I was expecting they were going to have some stuff that would be like real, like wow moments, that would like make people want to.
Here's what Xbox have got that Sony haven't, and there wasn't that.
I mean, it was weird because the main takeaway for me was basically the same as last year in that I saw loads of cool games, but I still don't need to buy an Xbox because they're all coming out on other PC or PS4 or whatever. So I don't know if that's still smart of Microsoft or a huge failing.
Is this?
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Is this all bollocks? Just out of curiosity, as in, are you just all playing into the fact that you know that like my negativity about this anyway, and you're just saying it was not that good and that there wasn't anything there?
No, I fully enjoyed it. I saw loads of good games. I just don't need an Xbox for them.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched all the conferences twice, and just because the first time I was too excited to take notes, and the second time I did, and it was fine. But as I said to Dave when I saw him, like this does not make me want to jump out and get an Xbox. And yes, I know they haven't done exclusives; they're not going to. But I would have loved an exclusive. I would have been like, okay, fucking hell, I'm there day one.
This isn't like I'm going to like after this look at it and it's going to be like there is Perfect Dark or something like that. And you just,
we have to find out afterwards, James. But yeah, this is not going to change. This is not going to change the tide. From if people are buying loads of PlayStations versus Xboxes, this isn't going to do anything. This isn't going to make anyone stop around and say, you know what, I'm going to sell my PS4 and I'm going to get an Xbox. I don't think it's going to do anything like that. And ultimately, Microsoft are here to get sales and change the sales figures and whatnot. But right now, this doesn't change anything for me.
I agree. As an Xbox One owner, I enjoyed it because it was game after game, and some of the stuff they showed off looked really good. But I also very much agree with you. If you were not buying an Xbox One before this conference, you still ain't buying one.
Definitely not. And one other thing, actually. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've seen this thing twice, and when I first saw it, I was really disappointed. Second time, yes, there are loads of great games here, loads of really good games, but none of these games speak to me in any way. Like, I think I wasn't like punching the air. I wasn't thinking, come on, the Code Vein's out. All these games look fine and good almost, but nothing makes me think, fucking hell, I'm so psyched. Day one, I can't wait to get it. It's just loads of, yeah, fine. It's fine. Fine. Yeah, it's disappointing for me.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything either. So
no. I mean,
what was the last game?
Pinning that point.
You said there was one last thing. So what was that?
So the last thing was obviously Anthem. They said they were going to show it, and they ended with that. It looks incredible. A lot of people were making that snarky thing. Oh, that's where the graphics people went from Mass Effect Andromeda. Yeah, if you'd have played Mass Effect Andromeda, a lot of that game looked incredible. Yep. This seemed to have a lot of the environmental stuff from that game. The characters do look better, obviously, in this, from what we saw, like the animations and stuff. It looked okay. I was surprised by how Mass Effect Andromeda it looked, actually.
Well, it looked like a lot of things.
People. Yeah, it's space people. It looked like Destiny. It looked like Mass Effect.
It looked like Horizon. It had giant sort of mech or robot animals. Very Horizon. It's got jetpack, and it felt very Destiny in many respects. It's got. They showed. So they had a trailer in the EA one. This was like a gameplay trailer thing, and it had like it had like audio chat pretending that there's like real people, you know, and it's just it's total. It clearly wasn't real people. It's just totally scripted. Yeah, obviously it's scripted, but it just sounded horrendous. But yeah, they showed people dropping in and out of like multiplayer, essentially doing these like strikes like Destiny. In this video, they were in like this really lush forest with loads of wildlife and beautiful lighting and amazing tons of trees and vegetation. It looks stunning.
So what kind of a game is it though? I mean, is it like a shooter or is it like an RPG?
It looks like a third-person Destiny.
It's a bit, like it's
a Mass Effect game.
Co-op Mass Effect Iron Man game or something. People flying around in robot suits. And but the idea is that you can, like, you've got your one character, but you will build up like a suite of different suits for different sort of purposes. Which seemed pretty cool. I mean, all they really showed was like normal suit and heavy one. But I assume there's more to it than that. I mean, the main thing for me is that it's by BioWare, so presumably the writing's going to be pretty good. So it's got one over on Destiny on that front.
It's also got 4-player squad play, James. So again, one better than Destiny. Also, what's really cool is that in the demo they were showing you going straight from flying, obviously in the air, but going straight below water, and there's some like underwater section straight to above the water and flying again, which looks really cool. They showed like a random like a random drop happening after a mission. It just showed, there's like randomized or whatever, and this guy got a gun, and oh wow, this looks amazing. But it looks, they haven't revealed too much, but it looks like it's a Destiny, it's a Mass Effect, Destiny, Horizon sort of game. It looks stunning, but there's a lot they haven't said, so who knows?
Who knows?
I can't wait to see that game running on Xbox One S.
So again, this was showing this closed out their thing, but it's not. Again, it's not an exclusive, right? It's just they just closed out.
There's no way that this would be exclusive. No way.
But they haven't done like an Activision kind of thing like with Sony or anything like that. It's
if they have it, it wasn't really said. I mean, the fact is on their stage probably says something, but
did they have a date for this? They didn't, did they?
No. It just says out in 2018.
Yeah.
I just feel like you guys are missing something because I can't believe that they would have done something that sounds. From all that you've said, like the last, I don't know, half an hour or whatever you've been talking about this, you've sounded like really not bothered by anything really you've seen, really.
Well, no, I come out of it quite positive because it was game after game. They didn't really sit and talk about. I mean, it just made it clear that this was about Xbox and not about Xbox One X. And I think Matt was disappointed by that. I didn't care. I like the fact that there was game after game. Matt is completely right that there was no massive bombshells that got everyone on their feet. But it did enough for me to say, hey, there's a lot of good games coming out. Let's go. Let's see the games. There weren't a great deal of stage presence. It was mainly just let's get on with it. And I wasn't hating it. I thought it was okay. But that was the problem. It was okay.
It sounds like it was really mediocre. And from like a new console launch, that sounds really worrying to me. Like that, it's not like a big thing.
This is
not a new console launch.
Yeah, but it is a new console launch, isn't it? Because they've been so far behind, and so you're thinking they surely should have done something to like address that. And it sounds like they haven't at all, from what you've just been telling me.
Pretty much no.
The difference between this and the Pro is
I think you're lying, David.
The difference between this and the Pro is that a lot of games are native 4K at 60 frames, which
who cares? That doesn't matter.
Yeah, who cares? But that does seem like that is more powerful than the Pro. But there's nothing here to make you think I need to be on Xbox. I mean, it's disappointing for me, and maybe the final realization actually, as Dave says, what Dave says is correct. We're not going to have that. Oh my god, new console excitement! It's just going to be this now forever. It's just going to be
I've got a list here. I've got a list of
the
things
games
that I
we're already
think
playing.
I've got a list here of things that I think are potentially bullshit that have been going on.
Right, okay, we'll get to that in a sec. But Matt, that was my main point when it looked like the industry was going this way, right? And what we were talking about when we were talking about the PS4 Pro, even. The saddest thing about this whole shift in the industry is that you're never going to have that moment where you go, oh, mate, do you remember when that console came out? Oh, yeah, do you remember your first time you played this console? That's all gone now. And it's...
then it should be focusing on, like, do you remember when that game, like, was, that was first shown or whatever? And that's what they needed at this.
You're right, yeah.
And but I can't believe they haven't done that. Like, I just can't believe that, because...
let's hear what your bullshit list is.
Just one last point. I mean, basically, this console is going to be super held back by Xbox One S. Which I know is the whole point. It's like the Xbox One family and blah blah blah. But it's just disappointing. Like, we're never really going to see the full power of Xbox One X because it always has to be held back by S.
Yeah, but we know this.
Yeah,
it's the same PS4 Pro's got.
I think that's bollocks though, Matt, because. Not that you're lying about that, but what I mean is, like, with PCs, you don't get that, do you? Like, somebody buys, like, a really amazing PC, and, they put something together that's really brilliant, and they can experience games, like, that look, like, so much better than something else. But somebody else can also buy a mid-range one and still have the same kind of experience, just not as good.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. But then...
And we knew this was happening, Matt. This is what frustrates me, is that your attitude after it was kind of like... Oh, well, I mean, what can the Xbox One X do? No, that's gone. We knew that was going.
I know, but it never really hit me until this conference. I'm like, fuck, this is the future. And
it is the future.
I do think it will be held back in a way, because, yes, graphically, the Xbox One X versions will be 4K and 60, all that bollocks, but things like incredible AI and really detailed animation, I don't think that's going to be a huge difference between two versions. I don't think you could create games which... utilise a whole new level of incredible AI thanks to the power of Xbox One X or bollocks, because it's still going to be running on the previous one. I think visually, yes,
but we will see that increase, because I think when the next Xbox comes out, that's when they'd be phasing out the Xbox One, like the original.
Oh, great!
Xbox
so I was
One
going to wait
stuff.
4 years for £600 Xbox One X2.
Well, you've had two before.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, James. What are you? What's all your bullshit list?
Well, you see, so far for this conference, I think, the EA stuff, I don't think you said anything that wasn't there, because it just sounded all really plausible. This one, there's something about Crackdown 3 that doesn't sound right to me, that you've been saying. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound right. But then I'm beginning to think that there's something missing from this MS conference, because I can't believe that they've not shown something which isn't like a big deal.
That was always an option, James. It didn't have to be lies. It could
just be a mission.
Not telling you something.
It could be like just a mission, and that's what it. This really feels like there's an omission here, like that something big did happen.
Half-Life 3 was announced.
You got it. I mean, do you think we're going to say something incredible based on what this conference was like?
No, I think you've just there's something missing, and that you're downplaying this majorly.
Well, you have to wait, wouldn't you?
Wait till you hear
You
some of the
finding out
others,
the
mate.
truth is going to be better than we can ever imagine.
Yeah, I can't wait for next week. Okay,
This is definitely. I'm certain now. I'm absolutely certain that you've massively downplayed this
Let's
on
get
purpose
on to next one. Let's get on to
because
next one.
you know that this plays into my negativity about stuff in general, and that I'll probably buy that. I reckon there's something missing here. You just played
Moving
it down.
on. Ubisoft.
Now,
No,
can I just say how much
Oh God, really?
I really like Ubisoft and all of their brilliant games?
Right, we'll get there in a minute. Can you just skim
Bethesda
through
next.
Bethesda, please? Skim through them.
Okay, so they announced Doom VFR, so it's Doom, but it's in VR. I wasn't clear if that was actually full Doom or just a new version of Doom.
It seems
in
to be
VR.
a
Skim through
separate,
it,
very,
Matt. Let's-
very separate thing. I think it was
Okay,
like
cool. Fallout 4 VR, that is full Fallout 4, but in VR. Skyrim on Switch. You can use Amiibo to give you Link's outfit and Master Sword and Shield and stuff, and it's got some Zelda sounds in Skyrim on Switch.
Let's skim through it.
Evil Within 2 and Wolfenstein, which looks fantastic.
Yes.
New Wolfenstein game.
Oh, Wolfenstein, I went back and watched the trailer for that.
Yeah, man.
It was funny. It looked good. Some of the gags in that trailer was some of the best comedy I've seen in a computer game. Genuinely. The bit with the robot arm, I was cracking up. I mean, I knew it was coming, but it cracked me up anyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
There's also some Dishonored
yeah.
2 DLC, which some people who are into Dishonored might be well up for that. But yeah, it was a short one, but it was fine.
Wolfenstein looks good.
Yeah.
Ubisoft then.
After that was Devolver.
This was the most confusing one
Fine, fuck a lot of you.
of all time. Are we doing Devolver? Oh, God, what did Devolver do?
Okay, James,
I mean, you're
it's
better off just watching it, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's 15 minutes of brilliance. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Right. I've heard different things, but fine. So Ubisoft.
Yeah.
This was an interesting one. Let me explain. We didn't watch it live. We watched it later that evening, Matt and I, because we were in Skegness. We'd had a few tips from industry people saying, you want to watch the Ubisoft one. This was before it was on. This is going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started getting the odd hints after it was on that we'd missed some incredible stuff. Matt and I watched it. I don't know what everyone else was watching, but let's go through it. They opened with... they had a special guest on stage, James.
Right.
Shigeru Miyamoto come out on stage.
Perhaps you've
at
heard
the
of him.
start.
Is this the Rabbids thing, right?
The Rabbids
aye.
thing, which I will tell you before we go into it, everyone now loves.
That doesn't surprise me. But
Game of the show.
I don't understand why. I'm surprised because I've watched it. So here are my notes. Rabbids plus Mario Kingdom battle. Miyamoto on stage holding a gun, not a real gun, like
just staggered out
he
drunk,
hadn't just lost
waving
it.
a revolver
it's
around,
never coming out.
firing indiscriminately into the
Fuck
crowd.
with Mike. You fucked with my Mario.
I put, should be big news, but man, that's what I put. Can't get on board with this. Cringe. Hip hop gamer is in the crowd. Lead designer is in tears as he's mentioned by Shigsy.
Yeah, literally a guy with a beard crying in the crowd.
Yeah. Sean, I listened to Midnight Resistance.
Yep.
You were like, good on him, man. Lead designer, he was really emotional. I was like, oh, come on, mate.
If you make video games for a living, Dave, and you get fucking a shout out from Shigeru Miyamoto in a fucking auditorium full of people, you telling me you wouldn't get emotional?
I would make sure I didn't cry in front of that many people.
Right, so this game looks fucking great, James. So we were a bit worried, right? Because the leaks and stuff showed like Mario holding a gun and everything, and we were all like, oh, well, what the fuck is this? It's XCOM. It's a turn-based strategy game, and it looks wicked. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, the Rabbids were the one thing that I liked about it. Basically, the Rabbids run around. So the idea is some Rabbids have gone mental, others haven't. Some are on your side and you're fighting the crazy Rabbids. The ones that are on your side are dressed up as Nintendo characters, and there was some funny cutscenes with the one dressed up as Princess Peach, and Princess Peach was like looking at this rabbit going, what the fuck are you doing? While the rabbit was like looking at Princess Peach saying, who the fuck are you? That stuff was nicely done. But yeah, I'm not a turn-based strategy guy, so this was never for me. And here's the thing. It's an XCOM clone, I guess.
I mean, clone's a bit harsh, but yeah, it clearly borrows a lot from it, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. XCOM was
but
great.
I couldn't understand what made it good other than Mario being it. Look, Sean, I'll ask you this. If that game was announced and they showed that game exactly as it was, but without Mario, Luigi and Princess Peach and the Mushroom Kingdom,
what if it was Rayman
would you
instead?
care about it?
If it was Rayman, do you think anyone would care?
Yeah. Like if it
was
just
unconvincing
was
I've ever heard
but if
in
it
my
was
life.
XCOM, I'd be really excited. Like I'm just up for a decent turn-based strategy game on the Switch. Like
I've never heard a more unconvincing since I asked Joe to marry me. It's like,
well, it's a bit of a vague question. Like, it doesn't have Mario in it. Well, who does it have? It's got to be someone.
that is a good point. That is a fair point. We don't like it when people say, what if Batman wasn't in Batman games? That's fair. But it is made by Ubisoft, and I don't know.
Was the hip-hop gamer really in the crowd? Is that true?
He was legitimately.
I missed that.
Matt pointed him out.
I mean, I haven't played an XCOM game, so I'm clearly missing out. But and it looks... it did nothing for me, but I just looked at it and thought, oh God, I just feel so sad for Mario. It just feels like it's sold out. It's like, what's he doing on this?
You didn't play that Mario Superstars,
I didn't,
sports game.
I was like,
I think I would actually prefer it if it was all just Rabbids pretending to be Mario characters and being nuts. Like the fact that it's actually got Mario in it is actually a bit jarring.
It's just like,
I don't know. I thought it was
Mario?
quite funny. The fact that the interactions between the Mario characters and the Rabbids, I thought was quite a sweet touch.
True,
but not worth crying over though, mate. Have a word. But yeah, people were excited by it.
Yeah, man.
So that was.
I thought as well, like considering it's running on a Switch, I thought it looked pretty stunning as well.
Well, it's on all platforms though, isn't it? There's no way that was Switch footage, right?
What?
No,
that's
as if they wouldn't let Mario on anything else. No, this is Switch.
My bad.
Switch exclusive. Yeah.
Mario and Rabbids.
Sorry, I just thought what I was saying. Yeah, sorry, I just thought Ubisoft.
Console exclusive. Right, they moved on to Assassin's Creed. We've already seen it. Nothing special. Then they went on to The Crew 2, which was surprisingly good looking.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all know what The Crew is. It's a bit of a joke. The Crew 2 looks pretty good. I mean, it's definitely had a visual bump.
It was weird.
There are now planes and boats.
It's got lots of vehicles, planes, boats. But so in the trailer, and it was like a render trailer. There's a car bombing down a city street, racing other people, and suddenly the world starts bending in on itself like Inception.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, that's fucking weird. And suddenly it cuts to, like a speedboat, and you still see the Golden Gate Bridge in the background, sort of flipping over itself, and I was like folding over. It's like, this is super weird. And I assumed that was just in a trailer, but no, that actually happens in the game. I don't.
What?
Yeah, that's on Giant Bomb Stream. They're like, no, that actually happens in the game. It's not just something for the trailer. I don't know what that.
Oh my God,
what's even happening there?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's even about. I haven't actually looked at any footage, but that actually happens in the game.
Oh, cool. I was under the impression
it looks really interesting nonetheless. It looks quite cool. I didn't play the first Crew, but the fact it's got speedboats and was there helicopters as well? I can't remember.
What do you mean? Were there helicopters?
No, was it
I don't remember seeing helicopters. It was just jets.
Okay,
I
cool.
saw,
Oh yeah, jet. But yeah, it looks fine. Looks good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I certainly had no interest in the crew, and I come out thinking, actually, this don't look too bad. So, yeah, probably going to keep my eye out for that one. They moved on to South Park: The Fractured Butthole, which looks great. If you like the original South Park game, or not the original one, but Stick of Truth, if you like that, then this looks like it's going to be just as good. But that was that. We already know that was coming out. A game called Transference. Didn't really tell us anything.
This is a VR title. It had Elijah Wood in the trailer. And have you seen the new series of Dark Mirror, James?
I have, yeah. You mean Black Mirror?
Yeah, I've written Dark Mirror here. Anyway, yeah, Black Mirror, yeah. So the episode where it's like the horror one and the guy wears the VR headset, it looks based like that.
Oh, that's right.
It looks like that. So, yeah, it's quite a short trailer with like weird cuts and whatnot, but it looks just like that where, yeah, it looks weird, but who knows?
Yeah, they're trying to blur what's real and what's in the game type thing. Yeah. It didn't really explain itself too well. Then moved on to, I mean, I thought this was just weird. A game called Skull and Bones, which is literally Black Flag.
Well, I mean, it's not though, is it? because it looks like you don't actually get off the boat.
No, you just stay on the boat and float about.
You are the boat. You play as the boat. It's basically just a naval combat bits of Black Flag, but yeah, you're the boat.
It's a pirate game where you don't get off the boat,
and you play different types of boats. There's like a tank boat and I guess a healer boat. Who knows?
And some people, some boats whose job is just to ram other boats and then die and hope that the rest of your team wins it for you.
You can be the rammer boat. I
was saying to Matt, right, while we were watching this, that I mean, even the sort of graphics and you know the way they visualize where you're aiming and stuff, that is all from that is Black Flag. What is this? I guess people wanted it. I don't know. It was just whatever. It was just seemed really very, very strange to me. I mean, it looked like they would just put Black Flag out and just change the title and hope no one would notice. Thought they were bringing a new game out. But there you go, Skull and Bones. I
mean, this looks like, now that we've seen, I know we were saying Sea of Thieves, like we're kind of seeing the same stuff over and over again, but I mean, Sea of Thieves makes this look shit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
In terms of the scope of like what you can do with it. Like I couldn't fucking believe it when they were showing like, ship battles and stuff, and they're like, right, and now we've disabled the ship, so we're going to board it, and I'm like, right, this is this is like the coolest bit in Black Flag, and they get up next to the ship, right, we're going to board it, cutscene, well done, you boarded it, well done, game over. Like fucking hell.
So it is
congratulations in boarding the ship.
It wasn't terribly exciting, but then after that, they had like a bit almost like post credits in that video where the view was above the ships, and it sort of panned out, and you saw what looked like a huge sea creature beneath the ship. So maybe you'll also be fighting huge sea creatures, which makes it a little bit more interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think because it's mainly online, isn't it? So a lot of it will be, I think that's their equivalent of public events, I guess,
or like raids. I think someone mentioned.
Good luck selling that for full price. I've got a feeling that's going to be a cut down price game.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Just a full. Okay, cool. Just Dance was next. We don't need to worry about that. Starlink, a new toy-based game.
In between those, they announced an iOS game, a South Park iOS game called Phone Destroyer.
Oh yeah,
it looks sort of like
I don't remember
hero battling game, but South Park. It's out this year on iOS and Android.
Cool. Okay, fine. Starlink, which is a new toy-based game. Matt seemed more excited about this than I was, but I wasn't really paying attention.
I thought this looked cool as fuck, man. I'm well up for it.
Of course you did, Sean.
I'll just say it now. It's blatantly for children.
Yeah, but what game on this list isn't, Sean? It's all for kids.
So basically, Jake, right, it opened up. There was like some story guff about some bad aliens and that set in space. It looked a bit No Man's Sky.
Yeah, definitely got No Man's Sky vibe.
Yeah, and everyone's like, is Ubisoft doing their own No Man's Sky? That's a bit weird. And then no, basically it turns out the hook of it is you have a physical little toy spaceship, which is your ship in the game, and you swap parts out, like different weapons and stuff, and that gives you different equipment in the game. And I'm well up for it.
And you clip it to the top of your pad. It looked ridiculous.
Yes,
you got this massive fucking kit.
So
this is weird.
this is another like stab at Toys to Life, right? To
Oh,
try and
yeah,
get-
Basically, yeah. But everyone on Twitter was calling it No Man's Skylanders and giving themselves a pat
Oh,
on the back.
brilliant! I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was quite good.
I
Sorry, Sean, I can't get on your snark train for that one.
That's fine. Yeah, and this appears to be coming out on the 3 main consoles. They showed a Switch version. They showed it with the Joy-Con grip. Whether they actually showed gameplay of the Switch version is another matter.
I wish they showed a dude on a plane playing Switch and then getting his little toys out of his bag.
Being as shit.
And then like winking at an attractive
No.
woman sat next to him.
He wouldn't have a bag. He'd have like one of those like metal cases. That he'd like flick it open. And he'd like open his door.
It's really going to ruin the rooftop parties. I mean, yes, sure, everyone's having a drink, get your Switch, play Mario Kart. Oh no, how?
But just don't step over there. I've got my command ship too.
I've just got a new wing.
So that's Starlink. Right, they then spoke about Steep, which I
Yay.
thought, why are they talking about Steep? But then they announced that that's going to be the new Winter Olympics game. They're bringing out all the Winter Olympics stuff for Steep. Makes sense, fine. Wasn't that interested. Yeah. Then things got a little bit more exciting. I thought we were going to get a new Rainbow Six Siege 2. Turns out we weren't. And you know what was really confusing? Like, it makes sense, but I thought this was DLC, and they've since said that it's standalone. So what they've done is they're doing Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2 sort of remade, but with the Siege engine. So it's still going to have all the destructible stuff, but it does include the campaign shit as well, which is weird because I didn't play through the campaign, but... I genuinely thought this was going to be like a DLC add-on pack, but they've said it's standalone, you can buy it separately. If they're going to sell this full price, then they can go fuck themselves, because, I mean, you can play Vegas 1 and 2 on the Xbox One anyway.
So hang on, so you're basically saying this is like a Rainbow Six Vegas remake?
So, yeah, well, that's what it was, but it was kind of... like, it had all the destructible stuff, it was all done in the Siege engine. It was all done in the Siege engine, so it was like basically Rainbow Six Siege, but in Vegas. But they've said they've also included the campaign in that. So
No, this is totally going on my bullshit list because it sounds completely pointless. I don't know why they would do that, but you're gone.
Well, I suppose it's just making a quick buck out of the
But
Siege
it's
stuff
not a
without
quick buck,
bringing out a
is it?
second
It would
one.
take ages to redo all of that. Anyway, go on, continue. I think that's bollocks.
Okay. Far Cry 5 they moved on to. That looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm genuinely really excited for Far Cry 5. I think it's going to be fantastic. And a lot of the criticisms were, like, within 2 minutes of them showing it off, they were doing Far Cry stuff again. And it was kind of like, oh, God, here we go. But it didn't bother me, because the story stuff around it looks fantastic, and I like that Far Cry stuff.
I like the guy that came out, he was like describing what the tensions were like in the game, and you know the people and how America or is it is it Montana or whatever, how the local environment is, and he was saying people are fucking scared, which I quite liked.
Everyone went, ooh.
Yeah.
I've got the guy presenting is the boss.
Yeah.
People are fucking scared. Gameplay demo looks too good.
Yeah, it does look brilliant.
Right, and then they brought out some dude on stage who also cried again in front of those two crying people.
Hang on. You're making it sound shit. You're not selling it properly, Dave. Come on. Right, so the
guy come out on stage and cried. James, that's what happened.
So
they started showing this trailer,
crying
right?
as he came out.
They started showing this trailer.
He came out and then cried.
Oh, okay. No, he wasn't crying as he walked onto the stage.
no, he did have Kleenex in his hand as
he slipped over on his own
someone with
tears.
their arm around him.
Sobbing, I just think just gently weeping. You know.
God, Sean.
So they started this trailer, and there was a monkey who was swearing a lot, and it's like they're in like some sort of weird like crime den or something, right? And he's handing over this little idol to this character that's sort of revealed, like we sort of see it's got like pig hands, like cloven hooves, and everyone's like, no, don't, like, this can't be it, right? Because they specifically said they weren't showing it, so it can't be that. And then the church shows this like massive pig, and he like looks at this idol and he calls it Paige, so everyone's like fucking screaming, right? And then, basically what ensues is this talking monkey who swears a lot, going on a sort of mad chase through the city, being chased by a load of cops on like a rocket bike with some woman. And it looked incredible. And I mean, you should probably just watch the rest, to be honest, because I thought it was absolutely stunning. And it's Beyond Good and Evil 2.
So is the first game great or what?
It's great.
Oh yeah, it's tremendous.
It's great,
what style of game is it? What type of game?
It's kind of like a Zelda kind of game, if you know what I mean. Like, as in, it's I mean, it's, as in, like, you have to pick up things to sort of progress. I don't know. I'd say it's a kind of like that kind of game, but
it's just different. Basically, just like an adventure game in that sort of catch-all way. It's very good, and then basically, so that got revealed, and the audience was going fucking mental. And Michel Ancel came out, and he was a bit teary, and it's like, well, because he's been trying to get this done for 15 years.
You're on stage in front of people, mate. Wind it in a bit. Do your crying afterwards. Come on,
do it in bed
at
night
like
everyone else.
So does it look, Sean? Does it look like an open world kind of thing, or is it?
Yes, it is apparently.
Really?
It is apparently.
How can you say that?
Trailer,
no,
right?
they've said it's open world.
It was a CGI trailer.
It is also a Ubisoft game.
It is also a Ubisoft game. So the main sort of cloud hanging over this, right, is, well, for one thing, we've seen CG bits for this before, and it's come to nothing. And he's confirmed this is a prequel. So basically, everything we've seen up to this point has presumably been scrapped. And
it's free to play. No, I'm joking. No,
but they talked about it's like, and we're doing this thing. You can join the Space Monkey program. Which is like, we want to get the community involved and and help us sort of shape what the game's going to be like. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Why are you doing that? Like,
it's not a nice story,
Yeah, just just do a good game that you can. So I found that odd. I'm not really sure, because when he sort of said that, everyone's a bit like, oh, what? So are you kickstarting it? It's like, no, Ubisoft are funding it. They just want people's input, apparently.
Is this like it was that other game, that fighting game where they did the same kind of thing? Where
Which
it was
one was that?
That one that you didn't want to like because it was a Ubisoft game, but then you ended up quite liking it.
Oh, For Honor.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this now either, because you sound really you're starting to sound vague. And
it's the trailer is vague. Like, they didn't show it. I think there was like literally about 3 seconds of gameplay that was like in the background while Ansel was talking. But no,
there was more seconds of crying than there was of gameplay footage.
Yeah. My note about this is great trailer. I know nothing about the games, but what platform was the first one on? Can I play it on any current platform?
Xbox. It was on Xbox or PlayStation 2, or no, it was on GameCube as well.
There's GameCube as well. There's a PC version. I don't know if it runs on.
Oh wait,
you can get it
OG Xbox backwards compatible.
Yeah. No, you can get it on. It's now. You can play it on Xbox 360 at least. I know because I had it. No, you can play it on Xbox One. No, because they re-released it. Like, it was Beyond Good and Evil HD. And you
shit, mate!
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell him the other thing about that game that they announced, Sean?
No, because I've forgotten it.
What we were talking about?
No, total blank. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay, yeah. So Beyond Good and Evil.
Well, what is that?
2.
What is it, David? What is he? What is he not? What's he missing?
Nothing. He's just fucked it. Right.
This was going to be. Hang on a minute. Is this something that you're saying was going to be a lie, but wasn't really going to be a lie, and now you're trying to lull me into a false sense of security or something?
So Sony was next.
The hell's going on?
Hold on, I just need to explain to Sean on the WhatsApp group. One sec.
Great radio.
What's going on?
Hold on.
I've genuinely no idea.
Okay, fine. Are we doing Sony now?
So that was it. Is that all? So they ended on Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Yes, they ended with Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Did they? Let me ask about this then. So, did they give any idea of when it's coming out?
No.
Okay. Any idea about like platforms? Presumably, just the major ones. Yeah.
No. Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, the fact they're asking people to like input on the game probably says they've got a lot still to do.
Yeah.
So it looks like they binned whatever they were working on. This is what's new.
Yeah.
And it's got 5 years. But yeah, exactly. It's going to probably won't be at E3 next year, but maybe the year after we might get some idea of what's happening.
Possibly not.
Right.
But it was fucking exciting. just because they split. This as a brief aside, this kicked off a whole argument among a few games people on Twitter, because I think was it Jim Sterling who was saying like they specifically said that they weren't going to show this, and they did show it. That's lying. The PR people are lying about it. Oh, fuck off.
Oh,
Jim.
yeah, I did see some people say,
doing their fucking jobs.
Huge, I remember that.
Gives a shit.
See,
Anyway.
this has made me suspicious because I don't think that Jim Sterling would say something like that.
I thought it was odd.
Don't you?
No, I don't think he'd say that. Okay,
No, it was weird, but like it was people emotions were high and stuff. Right, should we do
Going on the
Sony?
list.
Yeah, Sony.
Yep.
Go on.
Right, okay.
What?
Right, okay. Sony. So, live music, bit cringe, waterfall. They did this sort of waterfall thing. Also, Sean, you know at the start of Sony, when they did that waterfall thing, didn't it look like one of the symbols that the waterfall was spelling out looked like the Assassin's Creed logo?
Yeah, it did a bit.
Because I was kind of like, they're not showing Assassin's Creed again, are they? I mean, we've seen that on everything. It was really weird. No, drums beating. They opened with a trailer of, I've got it here somewhere, it was the Uncharted thing.
Yeah,
Lost Legacy.
Yeah.
The Lost Legacy, that's it. To open, can't hear it, that's an awful game to open on. Right, we all knew this game was coming out, can't believe they opened with that. It seemed like a bit of a spin-off game. Well, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's a spin-off game, and they opened their show with that.
Yeah.
Alarm bells were ringing.
Yeah. And just when Dave said he couldn't hear it, basically Sony sort of fucked the audio for the first bit. They had like the audio in the auditorium, not the actual sort of main trailer audio. So yeah, the audio's a bit weird in the first couple of trailers.
Did they?
Yeah. Second trailer, Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. Fine.
It's got snow in it.
Fine.
Yep, snow.
Those alarm bells are getting louder.
Yep.
Now, I put a new trailer. So it was another trailer. It's all feeling very average. I put feels and looks like Uncharted / Tomb Raider / Last of Us. It's Days Gone.
Yeah.
As the trailer went on, it did look a little bit more interesting. Do you remember Days Gone from last year, Sean?
Yeah.
James?
Yeah, wasn't this the one that's like yet another zombie survival kind of thing?
That's the one.
Yeah, but the idea was that it's more like Daisy than Walking Dead. There are like a ridiculous amount of zombies on screen, and they're all. The idea here is that you can, or what the sort of gameplay reveal was during this trailer or this game demo, pre-recorded game demo, was that you can use the zombie hordes as weapons as well as them being just enemies, and that looked interesting. It looked fine. The problem was everything looked like Uncharted,
it was
or
like
Horizon.
Last of Us. What I wrote in here. Sorry, it looks great, but generic as fuck. Horizon, Uncharted, Last of Us. But it was cool how he used the zombies. There was it looked like Uncharted. There's like a third person. This guy was stealthily getting his way into a camp, and he put a sort of like this wall mounted bomb on this door. He blew it up, and then fuckloads of zombies came and sort of killed everyone in the camp, and then this guy like escaped to another bit. But yeah, it looks fine. I'm just like another one of these games.
It just like obviously it's a trailer. So this is always going to be a thing, but it just looked massively scripted to me. Like it was just all the things they did. Like that wasn't the player sort of looking at the environment, going, "Hang on, right? How can I work this?" It was just like, "Oh, here's the one thing I'm supposed to do." But I don't know. Maybe that's unfair.
I mean, I've heard from people that have played it that said it's not. It is very much. There's several different ways of doing it, but I know what you're saying. I think what made me laugh the most was when he threw a grenade or he threw a rock or something. That was it. He threw a rock to bring someone's attention over to something.
Oh yeah, chucked it at a sign.
It was the exact same like visual thing as what you get in Uncharted and Last of Us, and I just laughed. I was like, Matt, this is like what?
Yeah, it was basically exactly that. Just going back to the Uncharted Lost Legacy thing. I mean, Uncharted 4 was great, but there was quite a big gap between Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4. I know I obviously recently played Uncharted 3, but the Uncharted 4 only came out last year, and it feels like I don't want to play another Uncharted game so soon after the other one. If this was like 2 or 3 years down the line, maybe I'm like, I'm hankering after another Uncharted game, but yeah, I don't.
Without wanting to sound like a total dick, that's a massive shame because they're two fantastic female characters that I think will be overlooked because it's another Uncharted game.
Yeah.
Which two female characters is it?
It's
Nadine
Chloe,
and Chloe?
I want to say.
Yeah,
Nadine,
Chloe.
Nadine and Chloe, yeah.
Not the one with that Nate ends up with, right? Okay, yeah, because
No.
I was going to say that's not a fantastic character. She's awful.
No, the other
Can't
two
even
are
remember
really
her
good.
name.
I really like them, and it kind of looks like you're playing as the bad guys, which is the sort of edge to it. But as Matt says, Uncharted 4 felt like a good full stop on not only that story but that style of game. So to go back to it will be hard work, I think.
I don't know. Can I just say that? Because the thing is, while I've been away, because I've just been playing Vita stuff, because obviously couldn't switch on other consoles, and I played Golden Abyss. The Vita Uncharted that came out. And it's actually not bad at all. I mean, it's basically Uncharted 1.5, as it's not like as good as 2. But the universe is still really fun to like spend time in, with the characters and everything.
Play 4. 4's excellent, but also reminds you
4's down to like 20 quid on PSN right now. It's like, at least it was a couple of days ago. There's a massive sale on PlayStation Network.
You can get on the internet, James.
Can I just say something else? Because I've just been thinking about this while you've been talking. That Beyond Good and Evil stuff, that's all bullshit. I'm certain now. It's all bollocks. All of that was complete bollocks, I'm sure.
Mate, look it up if you want. I mean,
No, you can't go on the internet yet.
That was all bollocks.
No
there was a
way,
bit
don't
too
you?
much detail, and then also a bit too much vagueness about other stuff. And it's something
I don't know
that
what
I
to tell
want to
you
hear
other than
about.
it was that vague. Like it was a very good trailer, but we know very little about it.
Yeah,
And also, Dave was a bit too suave with like some of the gags as well, like about the crying and stuff. It was a bit
Pre-scripted it.
It sounded a bit. It sounded like a bit prepared. That did.
Yeah,
James, this whole thing has been scripted.
Yeah,
mate.
James, I actually wrote
including
a last
your
section.
bits.
I wrote a last section, so I'm pretty happy you said that because I was up writing that till really late last night.
There are no tears in the Ubisoft conference.
Zero tears.
Right. Okay.
Cool.
So after Days Gone, there was Sean Layden came out on stage, and I wanted
this was awful.
I wanted to kill
but
myself.
I tell you something. Can I just say this? Right. He came out on stage, like they did in the olden days before a show starts, where a guy comes out on stage in front of curtains, like right on the front of the stage, in front of the curtains,
Like he's not really
to
meant
say
to be
something.
there.
Yeah, and then the curtains open up and you're like, whoa, there's this whole world behind him, right? Throughout this whole conference, I'm going, they're hiding something huge behind those curtains. We'll get to that. Right.
But
so he come
Sean
out
Layden,
and he was...
I've never liked him. I'm sure he's a nice guy normally, but he's just he's such like a suit. And like I know, people have their own thoughts about Phil Spencer and his wacky t-shirts, etc. But there's like Phil Spencer seems much more a gamer, whereas this Sean Layden guy, it's just like he's such a fucking suit. I've actually written down one of the things he said, which made you cringe into. I just wanted to kill myself. It's just so boring. It's just. Oh, God.
So he came
what
out
did he say?
and he
written
said,
down?
"Yeah, I want to know if it's the bit I was
so
going to say."
the thing I wrote down is, you'll see tonight that Worldwide Studios is bringing you the exclusive you want, and through our strategic partnerships with third-party partners, PlayStation's home to all the biggest and best franchises in the world. It's like strategic partnerships with third-party partners. Like, fuck off. It's just,
like a human. Well, okay, so for this next game, he came out and he was like, "Oh, now we're going to show you a game that has a huge cult following all around the world." And he said something like, "And it means a lot to me personally as well." And I'm like, all right, well, it's not going to be Monster Hunter then. It's fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter World. They showed off.
Sorry, Sean. I've written here, Monster Hunter World looks a fucking mess. I don't even know why I put that.
No. Well, I mean, you've listened to Midnight Resistance. This trailer I wasn't convinced by at all. It's not a good trailer. But all the information that's come out since, it sounds fucking wicked. It does. It literally sounds like they're keeping all the good bits and just taking out some of the archaic bullshit. So basically, so new Monster Hunter game coming to PS4 and Xbox One and later on PC. But it's going to be on consoles in early 2018. And basically, it's all the good stuff about Monster Hunter, but just streamlined a bit so that you can just call your mates in mid-hunt, and it's like an open world. There's no sort of awkward like shifting between zones and having loading screens and within a level. None of that. That's all gone. yeah, basically, if you go looking for this after recording, James, don't look at the actual E3 trailer. Look at the gameplay demos they've done since, because that explains things and shows them off a lot better.
And the running looked absolutely ridiculous. There's like loads of shots.
That's a thing. That's a thing in Monster Hunter.
Okay. Basically, there's those shots where like the camera is in front of the guy is running towards the camera, looking behind him. It looked ridiculous. It just looked ridiculous.
That is a Monster Hunter trope. When you're running towards a monster, he does like a normal heroic run, but if you're running away, he does this like comedy like.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I wrote here: did Sean see anything in that trailer to make him think, "Wow"? I mean,
not in that trailer, especially. No, it was. It's very odd. Didn't give anything away, really.
Yeah, because I've always been interested in Monster Hunter. I mean, I've never played one. I've never actually gone as far as actually investigating it fully. But it seems like I've obviously heard for years how much people loved it, and I've always liked the idea of it. But do you think this game, from what you've seen, is going to be the thing that's going to make it big in the West?
I don't know. They sort of, because this was the worry that we mentioned before. There was this leak that it was like they were going to do a PlayStation 1, which was basically going to simplify things loads and sort of try and get some sort of real popular appeal. But interviews that have come out since and gameplay demos and stuff suggest that's not really the case. They're just making it a game that exists in 2017, 2018, rather than like it's like an engine that's like literally 15 years old. So it's all just like little sort of quality of life improvements. Rather, like it's still going to be a bit of an awkward game, I think, because that's always been part of the appeal. So I don't know. Whether it's actually going to be huge or not. I've no idea. But it's definitely winning over a lot of people. Like a lot of long-time series fans, even though initially looking at the trailer, it was like, oh, they've changed things and it looks kind of shit. But yeah, having delved into the information that's come out since the trailer, sounds wicked. And
you're looking forward to this more than Double Cross. I know Double Cross hasn't got like a Western release confirmed, but
yeah, like it's suddenly now, so I said in previous episodes, like I hope they pursue this. There's this rumor that it's all going to split into two strands and that they're going to keep the old style Monster Hunters on the Switch. I think I'll now be a bit gutted if that's what they do with it, because I do think the old style ones are going to feel really archaic compared to what they're doing with Monster Hunter World. So we'll see, I guess.
Right, okay, next game on the list was something that surprisingly not a lot of people have been banging on about, but I was really excited. So we were watching it, and it was a dude running along, and then it panned out, and it looked like the dude from Ico, and then it panned out further, and it was the castle from Shadow of Colossus, and it's Shadow of Colossus remake. So not just a HD remake like they've done before, this is a full-on rebuild of the game by the looks of it. Mm-hmm. And from what they showed, I thought it looked absolutely stunning. They were saying on Giant Bomb, sorry, we're quoting a lot of other podcasts, but we've been listening to the reactions from the people that were actually there. We couldn't hear the audience, but apparently the audience went crazy when this come up on screen. But then died down afterwards as it become more and more evident that this wasn't Shadow of Colossus 2. This was a remake of the original one. Yeah. What did you make of it, Sean? You were a massive fan of the...
So I was... Because that first shot showed the bridge, and I had that, similar to sort of Beyond Good and Evil 2. I was like, no, it can't be that. Oh my God, it is that. Sort of feeling. And then sort of by the end of it, I was like, do we need this? What's the point?
I just play again. I mean, Sean...
I've never
but you can already do that. Oh, you've never played it? Oh, okay. I mean, if you've never played it, this will almost certainly be the version to get. So.
Matt's never played it, and I was saying to Matt, you would adore this game. He would genuinely adore this game. You liked Last Guardian anyway. Oh, no, you went off of it, didn't you? James really liked it.
At the end, which was annoying. So this is just called Shadow of the Colossus. So this isn't just a HD version. This is a remake, right? This is a...
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All the Colossi,
sure,
that's that they showed in the trailer, they were all ones from the original game.
Yeah.
I hope they do more with it. I'm kind of torn, right? Because one of the problems with Shadow Colossus was that the world was really empty and there was nothing to do in it. But that was also the point.
Yeah,
so,
it's supposed to be dead.
Part of me thinks, I do hope they add more shit in there. But part of me thinks, actually, that destroys the idea behind the game somewhat. But it looked stunning. It did look stunning. Because I remember I've played the HD remix and the remake, and it looked okay. But this looked like leagues ahead of that.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I would definitely play again. Sorry?
Do you want it to be as populated as GTA 5?
Yes, I want it to be online. I want to be able to buy my own home and
play
bet on races. Yeah. It looks good. I'm excited for that. Right, next I've got written down. I'll tell you exactly what I've got written down. I won't correct myself. Marvel versus Capcom Infinite.
They showed some Marvel versus Capcom stuff, and they I don't know what have they done with the characters' faces, man. Jesus Christ!
They showed Chun-Li, and it was someone did a side by side from the latest Street Fighter, and this, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she looks
going
like
on
ill.
here?
It's
she looks like she had some medical tests, and they've gone very, very wrong.
I mean, they announced there's like a story mode or something, and they're like, oh, and there's a demo now. Go and download it.
You can download a story demo right now. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't even bearing in mind I follow a lot of people who really like the fighting games. I've not seen anyone mention it. So
the weird thing is, this was obviously announced, but on other podcasts I listened to, they all said this was fine, but they were a lot more excited and actually enjoyed the Dragon Ball Z fighting game more.
Yeah.
So
right. Then there was a pan across the audience. There was a shot of the audience who all looked like they were about to leave. Because you got to remember, Farley, and this is important, the only time we'd ever seen anyone on stage, apart from the musical bit at the start, was just that guy walking out in front of the curtain saying, thanks for coming, we really appreciate you playing our games, and here's some more Everything else had been trailer after trailer after trailer. Mm-hmm. Now, I know we all want games and stuff, but there was literally no buzz. There was no hype, no nothing. It was as if a teacher had walked into an assembly hall and pressed play on the VCR and walked out again. It was nuts.
And then the teacher comes out and says, "Thank you for making PlayStation one of the most loved brands in the world." This is another line I wrote down. Jesus Christ.
So, PSVR time.
No. Before that, it was Call of Duty World War II.
Oh, have I not got... Oh, I have got that down. Call of Duty World War II, Louis Good is what I've got here. It looks good, but it looks like Call of Duty. So it looks... Imagine what you'd think a Call of Duty game would look like, James, in your head right now.
Yeah.
What's happening?
There's people climbing over trenches and shooting at other people.
I mean, no. They were in a boat, weren't they?
Oh, there's a beach
heading towards a beach. Yeah, that's how the game starts. So it looks great, and I think I'd be interested to play it, but still a bit uncomfortable that there's a zombie mode in the game. But whatever. Call of Duty World War II is coming soon on your computer consoles. Then it was PSVR time. Now, Sean doesn't know this, but this sparked a huge row between me and Matt. We were both insanely tired. We were pretty smashed as well, right? So they opened their PSVR segment, and when I say open their PSVR segment, I mean they pressed the DVD option for the PSVR games because there was no one coming out on stage. They started with Skyrim in VR. Fine. This is what started the row, right? So one of Matt's predictions is that they would announce 5 new PSVR games. Matt turned around, they showed the PSVR, and he went, "That's one." And I went, whoa,
definitely
that's
one. Definitely.
You said 5 new PSVR games. Well, that's one.
I didn't say new IP. I just said 5 new PSVR games. Skyrim VR literally is a new PSVR game.
New games.
Yeah, well,
you said new PSVR games. That's not
Skyrim
a new game.
VR is a new PSVR game. Definitely.
No, it's not.
It definitely is. I can't buy that right
Skyrim
now. Therefore, it's a new PSVR game. I'm not saying it's a...
You can play Skyrim now.
Yeah, but I can't play Skyrim in VR on PSVR.
So
you're saying if they'd have said GTA 5 VR, you would have said that counts
definitely,
as well?
Because that is a new VR game.
You're insane.
That's a new VR game.
Fuck off, Matt.
It's a new fucking VR game. Of course it is.
It's an old game with VR in it.
It's a new game. I said new VR games. I didn't say brand new IP. I didn't say a whole new... I said a new VR game. I'm not... And this
you didn't need to say new IP. If it was Skyrim 2 in VR, go for it, Matt. That's all yours. Skyrim in VR, you were claiming as a brand new PSVR game.
Well, it literally is. No, I can't buy Skyrim VR right now.
So I'm inclined to agree with Dave on this. That said, it's worth noting that this is like a new full price release, which is a bit of a piss take.
It's
It
a
is
new
also
game.
worth noticing that they then went on to announce 5 new PSVR games, making the whole argument null and void.
Very
And-
lucky. If that was the fifth one, I would have. I'm still going to argue forever on next week's show, but yeah, lucky.
The next thing that I put down was Starchild. Matt and I are still arguing about Skyrim, so I don't even know what
so
Starchild is.
Were you watching this live?
No.
At 2 in the morning?
No,
or
we watched it later that evening.
Yeah,
I was, because I'm an idiot.
yeah.
Of course, it was 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, we started watching at 10 o'clock, and I was very, very close to tapping out and saying, Matt, I'm not watching this anymore.
Come on, just hold on. It might
was
get
so
good in a minute.
boring.
Anyway, Starchild VR is the next one. It's a third-person 2D/3D platform. It looks a little bit Metroid-y. There's a big-ass robot. It looks pretty atmospheric. It could be cool, but who knows? After that was a game called The Inpatient. It's a VR game from Supermassive Games. It's a first-person horror game set in a mental asylum in the 50s, I think, or 60s. It had some old-timey music. I've obviously never play it. Monster of the Deep. Final Fantasy was the next one. It's Final Fantasy 15 fishing game with all your favourite Final Fantasy people. So that's that. Bravo Team was the next one. It's an FPS VR game. It supports the aim controller, so I'm quite excited about that. But it's like a military FPS shooter. But so it's actually third person. But who knows? Oh no, sorry, that's different. That's something else. Yeah, Bravo Team, FPS, whatever. Next game was Moss. It's a third person adventure with a mouse. It looks okay. And that was it for the VR section. But there was a VR section with 6 new games. And actually other games have been announced since Super Hot VR is coming to PSVR and some other stuff. So I was happy.
5 new games coming to PSVR is pretty impressive. I didn't expect that much PSVR stuff. I still thought it was frustrating that the only way we really knew that this was the PSVR section was there was a little logo in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that said PSVR on it. And then it went away. As they showed God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks
not in VR though.
No.
It's not in VR. Looks alright.
I think this looks
God of War.
fucking epic. I think that's great. And I haven't played the previous.
Really?
Yeah, it looks.
It's still not blowing me away, but then I'm a knob about these things, so...
But this game is supposed to be like a kind of a reboot as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it is. Yeah, it definitely is, yeah.
Start from scratch.
Yeah, fine.
It looks great.
They went on to Detroit Become Human, which I've put looks decent, but literally can't remember anything from what they showed.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I wrote down well acted, well up for it, the most interesting game I've seen so far. And then I watched it a second time, and I also wrote in my second watch this, I wrote "fucking day one forever." So I was maybe I was a bit drunk watching a second time.
So the weirdest thing about this, right? So the trailer, James, just basically showed like it's about the robots, becoming sentient, kicking off, like freeing other robots, starting little protests, and then maybe they get violent or maybe they don't. That's up to you. But what's really interesting, or not, is that. Like a load of interviewers have been going to David Cage, like, this is really cool. There's lots of parallels with like stuff that's actually going on in the real world, and is that something you intended? And he's just gone, no, it's just about robots. He's like, no, it's not about anything in real life. It's just about robots.
Yeah, but it looks great, and I'm up for it definitely.
Right, this is pretty much describes where my head was at this, right? So I've got the title of this game and some notes written afterwards. The next title of the game is Destiny 2. My note that I've got written down here is just the letter M. I don't know what that means. I don't know what was going on.
I mean, for what it's worth, I didn't even remember that they showed Destiny 2 stuff. So
I put it's Destiny lost a lot of buzz because of the pre-E3 showing, and I think the pre-E3 showing was cool, and that was like a little event in itself. Obviously, it literally was a little event in itself, but it made just Destiny 2 E3 for like I don't see it's another Destiny. Like there's no buzz about it for me whatsoever, which is weird.
Yeah. Didn't add anything.
No,
it?
It's just like we've seen. I mean, I think there was probably a new trailer. It looked like more the same. Yeah, it's just that was a total nothing. There's no point really, but whatever. They said that it also announced there's going to be exclusive strikes, weapons, armor, etc. And
have you seen, Matt, as a brief aside, have you seen the latest revelations about the story in Destiny 2?
Oh, no, I haven't. What's happening?
So basically, Bungie have flat out admitted that they have no idea what the darkness was in Destiny 1. So they're just not mentioning it anymore.
Yeah, because they basically didn't write it, and someone said the darkness and it's stuck, and then now it's nothing. They don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Saying that, did you see the announcement from Nintendo? Or no, there was some.
Yes.
I don't know, something come out to Nintendo about the law for ARMS
Oh,
today.
yeah.
This is the quote about the story behind the computer game ARMS. One day, people just woke up with extendable spring arms. Nobody knows why. Some of those folks decided to use their arms to make money fighting. Nintendo has said they'll add more law later.
I think they've done enough. It's pretty fleshed out to me.
Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, so then I put all trailers so far, and then man on stage again, thanking everyone. What is this? He basically came out and said the same thing again.
It's just loads of marketing bollocks, and I work in marketing.
We want to thank you. For making PlayStation the number one place to play games.
This is for you. This is your conference. It's all about the games.
Do you know what? You see, we've gone through all of these conferences, and you've just made all of them sound really boring and not that great. There's been about
At this point, James, I was genuinely thinking this might be one of the worst E3s of all time.
I was thinking, why did I hype this up so much in my head?
Properly underwhelming, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think during Sony, Matt turned to me and said, I wouldn't have minded if this was my year to miss out on E3.
I said, James is so lucky that this is his year.
Yeah, that was the feeling we were feeling at that point.
This is still making me massively suspicious, though, that you're just like missing loads of stuff out on purpose.
Just get on that Google afterwards, Lid. And then they closed with Spider-Man, which, one, looks incredible, but two, also looks like Batman with Spider-Man in place of Batman.
And way more QTEs as well. There was fucking loads of them.
Yeah. But it does look
the
fucking
combat
brilliant.
looks...
They show like a mission, and it was an amazing set piece, and it looks brilliant, but it looks super similar to Batman, but it does look fucking excellent.
Yeah,
so
the combat looks exactly the same.
Was that it then? So there was nothing behind the curtain?
Nope. Oh,
I could not believe. No, I think there was. I remember the curtain opening up. I think it was something to do with Spider-Man. I think it was.
There's a few times, basically. What they had is they had various sort of real life props, and so like when say the Destiny bit, they had a couple of the Destiny coat of arms, giant flags that came down.
This sounds ridiculous. This sounds ridiculous.
For the zombie one, they suddenly had. Well, they had like basically
some zombies suspended today.
Yes, zombies suspended.
This is bollocks.
No. And for Spider-Man, they had like a girder or some like weird construction stuff because that was part of the demo. Yeah, so I think they were basically trying to create atmosphere. Obviously, for people in the auditorium, but for us, it's just
this is going on the list. That
didn't really work for anyone, though, did it?
Yeah, the curtain? Yeah. The curtain is on the list.
Yeah. It was like they kept cutting to shots of the audience. They're all looking at the fucking phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen a more disinterested-looking audience ever, and it didn't help that they cut the audio from the audience when they were playing the trailers. Yeah. But at the same time, when it cut to them between the trailers, they didn't exactly look pumped.
I mean, I left that thinking, it's...
Well, you turned around to me and said, that can't be it. And I went, well, I guess Spider-Man's a big thing.
Pretty quick, but yeah, it's fun. Again, fine. That actually made me feel like the Microsoft one was better. Actually, after that, I think Microsoft wasn't that bad because there was lots of games and some new ones. I mean, out of all these, the VR games, like I didn't know about them. But pretty much every other game, I mean, we knew about. Like
Shadow of Colossus was the biggest surprise.
That was new. Everything else apart from the VR stuff we knew about there's no surprises other than Shadow of Colossus remake. Fucking boring.
This is...
Okay, so I'm thinking about this in my head, right? Basically, for me, E3 it's a massive showcase, but E3 is at its best when you have megatons, massive surprises, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe they show that. That's, for me, what E3 is about.
But you see, that's the thing, there's been none of these. Matt, you would be a lot more despondent if this was real.
James, I'm pretty fucking despondent. But I was going to say, so but there are loads of good or dare I say great games shown. There's loads of these are great, but nothing here has made me think, oh my god, what an E3! It's just no surprises. Sony, the one surprise was a fucking remake. I'm sure all those other games are fine, but whatever. It's just I mean, it wasn't great.
Can we get this over with? Because I want to get on the internet because I just don't buy any of this now. This this really feels to me now like both the Microsoft and the Sony one, you're missing stuff out. It feels like you're missing stuff out.
Are you accusing
What
us
feels wrong to you?
of inventing everything from E3
No.
to spend on a 3-hour podcast?
No, I'm not accusing you. No, everything. A lot of the stuff you said, I reckon, is totally like true, right? But I reckon that you've missed key things out, which are like big things, which are like the reason why people like are cared about it or whatever. And
Sean,
you're
it was
just
a
lying.
James.
You're lying by
James,
omission.
it was a monkey with a trinket.
An idol, Dave. Keep the script.
You're lying by omission, and that the Beyond Good and Evil 2 thing, I just think is just flat out bollocks. I don't believe it.
Well,
A man cried on stage. A man cried on stage, and you're going to have to look him in the tear.
And there was a monkey with an idol, except it wasn't an idol. It was Swiss fucking chocolate pig. That's literally a line from the trailer. Should we move on?
Yeah,
was it?
let's go to Nintendo.
Because I'm excited.
Okay.
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Okay, right, James. Now, before you'd left, you'd heard the news that this was only 24 minutes long, right?
Yeah, I'd heard that, yeah.
We had no idea what was about to happen over the 24
You see,
minutes.
this is the thing, right? Can I just say, you see, you've made the Sony ones and the Microsoft ones sound really boring and shit, and I was expecting the Nintendo one is going to be the big the most disappointing out of all of them. So now I'm scared as to what's coming next.
Okay,
Right,
no.
you've got no
just
idea.
before we go on. Okay, the Microsoft Sony ones weren't shit. They were fine, but they were just fine. I don't think they were shit.
I'd
I
agree.
don't think they were shit at all.
I'd agree with Matt. They weren't
No,
shit.
They were fine.
They were just fine. But I would say, personally, I like the Microsoft one better because I thought there was more new stuff. There was stuff on stage and all that. Fine. We saw the new console. We got the announcement, all that, the price and all that sort of stuff. Sony's felt like they'd forgotten E3 existed. Well, it kind of felt like they were done with E3.
Oh, yeah, they
That's how
totally
it felt
phoned it in.
to me.
Like, let's just get trailers of all the games that everyone already knows about and just bang them on a DVD. Press play.
Yeah.
But you see, this sounds
what it's
so like Sony from before, like when they used to do like sales charts and stuff because they were doing so well.
Well,
And-
Well, no, it's the
I
complete
think you're sort of
opposite.
right there, James. It felt like they didn't have to do too much because they're winning
I don't
anyway.
know, but I just can't see the hubris coming back again because they got bitten by that so badly last time. All right, just go on.
So, the Nintendo Direct happened. We actually managed to watch this live in Skegness while everyone was getting ready to go out. So I didn't have the opportunity to take notes.
Mhm.
So I asked Sean to,
Yeah.
you've got the notes. Let's do this.
Well, why didn't you rewatch it?
I've been busy, Matt.
Got a life, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So that's the other thing that's making me suspicious because like Matt's watched all these conferences like multiple times. If they were that bad, why would you do that?
I love E3, James. What can I say?
Not even I can explain that one. Go on.
Right, so the Nintendo stream opened up with a montage of cool, young, athletic, attractive people.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Should we explain what was in that montage because it does give a few
no,
things
let's not.
away? And
I wondered that.
No, let's not.
Because there was one thing in particular. It was weird the way they revealed it.
Yeah.
So
that really disappointed me.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
They put this montage up front, James,
Yeah.
and it had a couple of bits in it that we were kind of like, oh, so that's coming out. Oh, and then now there's that,
Yeah.
and I was kind of like, all right, it got me really excited. But when they revealed them properly, it was kind of like, yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took the edge off a little bit.
Yeah, all right, skip that. So
but
Reggie comes out. He's like in is it supposed to be his apartment, I guess, talking about how great the Switch is and cheers for buying it. Here's some games. We saw what had previously been shown to us as like Xenoblade 2 is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Fucking
as
yes.
predicted.
Eat that.
I have to say, I've in all the predictions we've done.
Yeah.
And we're going to leave the prediction chat to next week, but I do need to say this. I was so happy for Matt because the amount of abuse he got from people saying, it's not Xeno Chronicles 2, you idiot. That's not how the naming convention works. Oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And it turns out that's exactly what it was. Like, fair play, Matthew.
High-fiving
fair
everyone
play.
on that point.
So so they showed a bit of this. It looks, it basically was just more of what we've already seen from it. There's a few cutscene bits. For some reason, the main character has a Mancunian accent.
Well, all the voices were terrible, I thought.
Yeah. So that was odd. I did nothing for me, but then I sort of spent about 50 hours on Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and then went, hang on, I think I don't like this anymore. What am I doing? So,
I'm sure that wasn't a Xenoblade one.
Could have been. It's confusing naming convention, isn't it? So that's out this year.
Yeah,
so
holiday
Christmas.
2017.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone was expecting that. So that was a nice surprise for weird nerds, I guess.
Oh, and Sean, there is one more thing.
Yeah.
The first big one, right?
Yeah.
Can I describe that trailer?
Yeah, sure.
Good, thanks. Carry on.
Wait, hang on.
Which one is that exactly?
You're going to have to text me because there was multiple.
The number at the start.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let me describe that one. I want to describe that one.
Right. So, and then they showed there's a new Kirby game coming, which looks like a new Kirby game.
What's it on?
On Switch. Yeah,
This is all Switch.
This is all Switch. Yeah, there was no 3DS stuff as far as I can remember. So yeah, new Kirby game. It's literally just codenamed Kirby. That's not out till next year. But yeah, it looks great.
And the looks like it's got 4-player co-op as well, like new Super Mario Bros.
Oh god, I missed that. Yeah. Okay, wicked. They then went to Ishihara from the
4-player co-op. How is that going to work on Switch?
It looked like they had 4 different, like a yellow, a red, blue, and a green icon on screen.
James, what the fuck are you talking about?
You can connect more controllers
or online.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm getting just really suspicious of everything at the moment.
4-player Mario Kart. We did it while we were on holiday.
So, they whipped out Ishihara from the Pokemon company who talked about Pokken DX that they're doing. I can't remember if that was revealed before.
It was,
they had that.
Knew about that, yeah. So, that he just talks about that briefly, not really asked. But he then confirmed that they are doing a new mainline Pokemon for the Switch.
Okay.
But they didn't show anything. It was literally just, we're doing one. See you in 3 years or whatever. So yeah, that was that. Dave, is this the one? I think this is the one you want to do.
Yeah. Right. So I love this for several reasons, and it gets even funnier after the conference as well. Right. So black screen. The number 4 fades into view right in the centre.
Okay, so Metroid.
We're thinking,
but yeah, go on.
What is this all about? The 4 slides over to the right hand side, and what was it? Metroid. What's it actually called?
Metroid
Prime 4. And then it says it come up in like a different font at the bottom in white letters. Currently in development.
That was it.
Yeah.
What made it even funnier?
It said now in development for Nintendo Switch.
That's it. Yeah. And what made it even funnier is that they uploaded it to YouTube the next day, that trailer, under the title Metroid Prime 4 First Look.
Total piss.
You see, that sounds ridiculous, but it does sound like the sort of thing Nintendo would do.
Yeah.
And
First look,
okay.
So it is coming.
I mean,
so it's been
just
confirmed
really
that this isn't being made by Retro.
Yeah.
It has been confirmed.
Yeah.
So who's making it?
Well, I've heard rumours, but we'll discuss it. It's really infuriating for the listeners. But
no, go on. What rumours have you heard?
I've heard it's from Software.
Really?
Yes,
What?
but I mean that's.
Okay.
But I mean that's. I'm sort of not really paying attention because it's too perfect.
Okay,
that would be insane.
It would be insane. But,
Better know in terms of your prediction, James. You have to talk about that next week.
Yeah. Right, so then they showed there's a new Yoshi game, which is again like as with Kirby, it's literally just called Yoshi at the moment.
It's really funny that shit. I like that.
So basically, think Woolly World but cardboard this time. But it does look really cool.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
It's sort of papercraft. There's also sort of tilt shift as well.
Yeah,
it looked really cool.
And there was sort of it's a bit 2.5D. There's sort of bits where you sort of walk into the landscape and then you'll sort of pass through like a layer of cardboard and then the camera switches round and you're sort of on the reverse side and there's all shit going on like this.
Which they did with Woolly World anyway.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't crazy, but like at the same time, it just looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And if it's anything like Woolly World, then I'm in for that.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
But yeah, that's next year at some point.
That was also one of the biggest smiles that Harry let out because he was watching it with us. Cool. And I was just kind of like, oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
He shouted Yoshi when he saw it straight away. I was like, yeah, that's really cool.
Going back to Metroid for a second. When did Metroid Prime 3 come out? How long ago was that?
Ages ago.
A long time ago. It was a Wii game.
GameCube, wasn't it?
No, it was a Wii. It was
Wii.
It was a Wii game.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right, okay.
I just think
It's Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Yeah.
okay, because obviously the Kirby and it's just Kirby and Yoshi. It just felt weird seeing a 4. I know there is like a third one, so it makes sense. But in my mind, I thought they would be doing like a new game just called Metroid and it like a new series or something. But
they probably could have got away with that, yeah. But
yeah, I think you're right, but I think it's going to be so well. We have no idea, but I assume it would be so tied into the sort of mechanics of the older games that, like, if there's one thing about Yoshi, it was very different from Yoshi games that have come before.
I just think there's like a whole new generation of gamers, and many people. I guess it was Wii. I guess kids may have had it on Wii, so they would have known the previous one, but I don't know.
I doubt it. The what's it called? Because they released the trilogy on there as well, and it still goes for stupid money because it's it's kind of crazy.
It's rare as hell.
Cool.
They then went on to Fire Emblem Warriors. That had a little trailer. It was mainly like cutscenes and stuff. That's out this autumn, definitely. They later on the Treehouse bit. They showed some like actual gameplay. Looks basically the same deal as Hyrule Warriors in that it is a Dynasty Warriors game, but they've sort of dragged in some of the mechanics from Fire Emblem. In this case, the main thing seems to be that like you can, when you meet up with other generals on the battlefield, you can pair up with them, and then like as you're fighting, you can like bust out some of the other generals' attacks and stuff. And it looks really interesting. Then they had Aonuma out, who was talking about a new Zelda DLC. There's like a trailer for DLC Pack 1. Master Mode actually looks quite interesting. There's like this one clip where just a load of bokoblins like float up on platforms suspended by the balloon things I've forgotten the names of, which looks really weird.
Oh yeah, what are they called?
I can't remember.
Are they Octo Balloon?
Oh
no,
something like that. So yeah,
it
was just
Octoroks.
That's the one, yeah. And it was just like a cool little suggestion that it's not just going to be, the enemies are harder, like there are going to be like weird things happening that you wouldn't expect. So that was cool. I'm probably still not going to bother with Master Mode, though, I'll be honest.
Trial of the Sword and Link was just seeing his pants, so I don't know. I haven't read anything about that, but is that basically you start from scratch and you've got to work your way up and survive?
I think isn't it just like a massive shrine or a series of shrines where you don't have any of your gear and you have to start from scratch?
I thought that was just from the pre-release. That was just they said it was just fighting. It's like that was the whole point of that.
I think it was Outdoor Environments too, but I don't know. I haven't read into it, but it looked like he was just starting with nothing and maybe got an armor or get it along the way. But who knows?
Then they showed there's going to be some gold Lionels, which whatever. I guess they're just even tougher than the existing ones. But frankly,
I've never beaten one of those in a game.
Exactly.
I've never killed one.
Don't worry about it. And then they teased the second DLC pack, which is called The Champions Ballad. And basically, all they showed was it was just a clip of the other 4 champions, just like a little sort of montage of them. So it sort of suggests that it's a prequel and it's set before everything went to shite.
Did I dream this, or did they then go on to announce that they were each getting a amiibo?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So,
they did, yeah.
Yeah, all champions, or you have an amiibo. They look great.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Reggie came back on, and he talked about, they're doing some, like, invitational tournaments, like Pokken and ARMS and what have you. That was fine, I guess. Again, they were on the Treehouse stream, and there was just, I don't know.
Okay.
It was just like, there's some pros who play the games loads, and then here's some YouTubers, and I guess who won. So then Yves Guillemot came out, talked about Mario and Rabbids again. Confirms out 29th of August. Here's a trailer, nothing we hadn't seen. Do you want to do the next one, Dave?
No.
Okay.
Well, no. I will be making comments throughout, yes.
All right, fine. So... It's just I can't remember precisely how they revealed it, so I just say it.
They just whacked the trailer out, and the internet lost their shit at this point, James, and I'm going to lose my shit now. Go on.
Rocket League is coming to Switch.
Yes, Rocket League is coming to Switch, baby, and they confirmed. Well, to be fair, the internet didn't lose their shit at this point. They lost their shit when it was in a little montage at the start of the show, which pissed me off a little bit. But yeah, so they confirmed local multiplayer, so you can play wirelessly, so it doesn't have to go through the server, which is just perfect because I can link up with some mates. I can play Rocket League on the couch when EastEnders is on. This is just... I mean, I know it's an old game or whatever, but no one was thinking that Rocket League would be shown at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when it was, I was so fucking excited. I can't even explain. I got even more excited later, but
the really cool thing is it's going to have
brilliant
Mario hats and exclusive Nintendo cars in it, and cross-platform play.
Okay.
Did they
When you say cross-platform play, do you mean what, with like PlayStation or
I
whatever?
assume it's just PC. I mean, they say cross-platform. I guess Xbox as well, maybe. In fact, no, it is Xbox because they confirmed you will sign in using your Xbox Live account to do the online stuff.
Oh, this is bollocks.
No,
That's
for real.
bollocks.
There's no way they're doing it, yeah. So,
right, this is going on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you can get like
you fucked it because there's no way that's happened.
Okay, so you can get Mario hats exclusive. I mean, I can't remember if they showed the cars, but I guess like Peach car and whatnot. And yeah, it comes out this Christmas. It's a 720p, 60 frames. Well up for that.
Yeah.
So what happens if I'm playing with a Mario hat and I'm playing against someone on Xbox?
Well, that's never going to happen.
That's
never going to happen, so it's fine.
I imagine they'll just see the Mario hat.
It's a big like redacted
you say that,
thing.
Sean. But you know that there are football teams out there that are officially sponsored by Xbox. So when you play on PlayStation, there's the Xbox logo all over your TV screen. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. And I'm pretty sure Microsoft are a little bit more relaxed on the, having... I mean, they had the Nintendo Switch on their Minecraft thing, so...
And that's the same thing I think you have
maybe
to do
right
with the Xbox Live login of that to like do... Yeah, I don't know. It's a thing, James.
I can't wait.
I'm going to triple dip on that game.
That.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, sure. Next one, bit of a biggie. I don't know. I'm just going to say it. F-Zero.
It's back, baby.
F-Zero Night Run. Guess who it's being fucking made by?
Who?
Platinum.
It's happening. I think that's definitely half the better one.
See, this sounds... You see, this is the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is that sounds too much like bullshit to be possible.
I know.
But then because it's it's got to be real.
Wait. Sean,
yeah.
we've got to talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been literally buzzing ever since this trailer. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get over Rocket League, and then this happened. James, this is real, and should we let him see the trailer? Because
he's got to leave us otherwise.
He's got to know. No, but he's got to know that this is real before we go into it.
Shall I? Right, hang on.
I can't have him going, this is bollocks, right the way through this. We should just get this out of the way now. Send him the trailer.
Hang on.
Find it. I mean, when I saw Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I thought amazing.
James, don't search for it because you'll bring up some other stuff that happens later.
Sean, get in the link.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, sorry, I've just found it now. I'm just going to put it in the Discord.
This is cool as well, actually, because we can get your live reaction. Tell us what you think as it's good. Turn the volume up on your phone. Tell us what you think as it's happening, because I just want to see your. It's not coming out soon.
Yeah,
but
they
still show gameplay
footage.
Just,
yeah.
No, are you putting it in the?
We still saw the game.
It's in the Discord.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Do you want me to watch it on my phone then, and then with the sound and everything?
Yeah.
Or... No, watch it on your phone, yeah, but turn the volume up so we can hear it.
All right.
Because this is, but I just want to get your live reaction to it because they actually show game footage.
Yeah. It looks ridiculous.
It wasn't like the Metroid one.
No, I'm just loading it. Oh, okay, the music. Yep, Platinum Games. All the feels there.
So many feels.
Yeah, I know, it's quality.
Yeah, when that music kicks in, holy shit.
What are you thinking?
I don't know, I'm just watching this and it looks... I don't know, I think it looks pretty decent, to be honest.
I know, it looks stunning.
Yeah. This is, I mean, there's no other races on the track, but then presumably this is because this is in early, yeah?
They're just an early build, yeah.
You pricks. You pricks. Was that Fast Racing Neo or something like that? Yeah.
Oh my god!
You dickheads! I'm
The best.
I'm almost done with this now. I'm almost done with this now. I just want to...
If you would like to see the trailer that James has just watched, go to YouTube and search F-Zero Night Run.
F-Zero Night Run. What a name.
Posted by GamerVids UK.
Yeah, GamerVids.
Fuck.
2 views probably. Oh no,
65 views it's on now.
Because that did look nice. It looked, and it had the music and everything.
It had logos and the music.
It's amazing what you can do with editing.
Platinum would never do. Like, they don't do racing games. It doesn't make any sense.
F-Zero Night Run is a name we've had for months.
James, right? How convinced were you during the actual trailer?
Tell us.
At the beginning, I was totally convinced. Like totally convinced, right? Because it had the logos and the music and everything. And then it started off, and it looked like it could possibly be something like that. Oh, you pricks! Okay, go on.
What? That is the best.
And do you know, you shouldn't have done that, because I was about to eat humble pie about the idea that there was going to be an F-Zero game, because I don't believe it was ever going to happen. And bunch of dickheads. And then when I see your faces,
the silence. I like the silence, so you can actually hear me and Matt go, "You mug."
Thanks for that. Okay.
Recorded from Skegness Live. Amazing work on the trailer, Sean.
Thank you.
Yes, well done, Sean.
Well spent.
If you're listening to this,
it was that was really well done, Sean.
We'll tweet out in the next day or so.
The game was a PC game called Redout.
Right.
Which is obviously a similar deal,
But
and I
that's
figured you probably wouldn't have seen it. 'Cause I thought if I used Fast Racing Neo, you'd probably recognise it. But it's...
This idea for that trailer came about 6 months ago.
Yeah, I mean, the WhatsApp group's been out for ages.
Yeah.
Well, look, fair play to you, because I bought it in the beginning. Seriously, it's fair play.
F-Zero Night Run. Look that up on
but
YouTube.
We'll also tweet it out.
Also, I mean, I was so pleased with how that covered. Yeah, well done, Sean.
Yeah, amazing.
But the thing was, about 2 or 3 days before E3, I sent a message out saying, "What if it is announced? What if there is an F-Zero game?" No F-Zero. No. What did they move on to next?
So obviously there's a major one that hasn't come out yet. This is the last game. So this wound me up a bit, right? Because initially they showed it was like this cliff edge, and there was these massive waterfalls in the background, and then a big dinosaur sort of ran over the camera. I was like,
Sean, before you continue, this was so well done.
Yeah.
It was so beautifully done.
It was.
I was grinning. Matt would know. We'll talk about this after, but Matt knows how much I lost my shit over this.
So I was like, oh fucking hell! It's a new Monster Hunter game. And then said dinosaur turns around, and he's wearing Mario's hat, because it turns out in Mario Odyssey you can throw your cap at things and then possess them. And it works on pretty much everything. Yeah. Like the people in the city, enemies,
mushrooms,
fucking
fireballs,
mushrooms,
vehicles,
bollards.
Right, okay, let's slow down. They showed Mario Odyssey, they showed a lot of gameplay stuff. They showed a lot of gameplay stuff after the direct had ended. This, for me, was by far game of the show.
Yeah.
And there's John, later on, John Denton put up a video of him watching it with his son, and I adore that video, because they go from talking about what Nintendo's showing, then that trailer starts and they're looking at the dinosaur. He turns around, the Mario hat, they grin, and they don't stop grinning until the end of that trailer. It felt like the first time I saw Mario 64, because, when they first showed Odyssey, we thought, that looks good. And there was a few people saying, why the hell has the hat got eyes? And that was all explained, not through telling you, but by showing you the gameplay. Yeah. And one of the first examples they gave, he threw the hat on one of those bullet, what are they called? Bullet bills?
Yeah.
Yeah. and then you can control the bullet, and then it got like weird. They showed him on like Mario on a scooter, like a motor scooter driving along, and we were like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Then he was throwing it on everything. You know those little humans not little humans. You know those proper humans that are walking around New Donk City. He chucked it on one of them, and then just became him and was walking along. And the trailer ended by this is the bit where I lost it. Like Matt was like laughing at me because he walks up to the dinosaur, chucks it on the dinosaur, and then walks the dinosaur about. And I just looked at Matt with my head in my hands going, he chucked it on the dinosaur, Matt.
He chucked it on the dinosaur.
That is obviously the gimmick of the game, and the discussion we had afterwards was, I wonder how far they're going with this. Are they trying to Zelda-fy Mario? Do what Zelda Breath of the Wild did for Zelda, but do it for Mario, where it lets you experiment and you can do weird, crazy shit by possessing
I can imagine
stuff.
chaining these things. Maybe you throw into a bullet bill, he goes somewhere, then you jump out and you went in a fireball, and one of the hilarious things is that basically everything you throw Cappy into, it's that thing with a big moustache. It's just brilliant. Yeah, so you have like bullet bill with a moustache, mushroom with a moustache. Anyone, everything. It feels like you can chuck the Cappy into and then possess.
Let me make this clear, James. I swear to you, we are not lying about this.
Yeah,
and
you swear to me about the other one as well.
I promise you. I promise. Yeah, we've got another trailer to show. No, I promise you, this was easily game of the show, and it blew me away. I am so excited for Mario Odyssey now that it's beyond a joke. And John sort of tweeted me, because I know people would tweet me about this, saying, you hate motion controls. Did you know that this is motion controls? To fling the hat and stuff, it's motion controls. I said, I didn't know that, but that doesn't worry me. The problem I had with motion controls with Galaxy was that a lot of it was pointing at the screen and, shaking to make him spin and stuff. I can see me sort of chucking the hat like that. That kind of works to me, like sort of a frisbee motion.
I can't see me doing that when I'm playing on the train, though.
No, I guess you're right. But you just fling your Switch across the train. I'm beyond excited. Some of the levels look crazy, like the complete different colours and like palettes and stuff. It looks so good. I said that I was excited to talk to you about Nintendo, and I am, and it's not because it was constant quality. You got to remember, this is all 24 minutes to half an hour, whatever it was. And they did the Rocket League stuff, which I was way excited for. They did the Monster Hunter, not Monster Hunter. They did the Metroid stuff, which I'm never been a big fan of Metroid, but I knew it was a big deal, so that was quite exciting. But over the lot of it, they showed what could possibly be Game of the Year. The one game that they showed at E3 that could possibly beat Breath of the Wild is this. I am bang up for Mario Odyssey. It's going to be so good.
Oh yeah, and it's out October 27th.
Yeah, confirmed. Yeah. October 27th.
Can't fucking
and
wait.
That was that.
Yeah.
I can't wait, Sean. I genuinely can't wait. And all the stuff that I've seen after it has just said to me, confirms everything.
Have you watched any footage?
Because
I haven't watched anything other than that trailer. I'm not sure I want to watch anything else.
Yeah, they showed some. Was it the Treehouse stuff they showed on? They showed some stuff on.
Yeah,
someone posted up a link to some gameplay footage, and I was
going to say it's worth noting, Farley. Like when you're catching up on trailers and stuff, there's like a fucking ton of Treehouse stuff. In fact, there was some new announcements in the Treehouse as well. They're doing I forget the title. Metroid Samus Returns, which is basically a proper 3DS remake of Metroid 2, which looks fine. Like it's being done by Mercury Steam, done the recent Castlevania ones, but they did that really good one on 3DS.
That wasn't bad, yeah. I played that.
Yeah, so that was the thing, and then there was some game where you're lobbing plates of sushi at people or something. I didn't really pay attention.
Speaking of games that weren't announced,
we should also
another game. The PlayStation game
we should also mention. I've just remembered.
There's a game called Hidden Agenda. It's by Supermassive Games, who made Until Dawn, and basically it looks like another Until Dawn like game, but the thing with it, the thing with it is basically it uses a thing called Sony PlayStation. Hang on, I'm just waiting for SharePlay. It's called. Hang on, I'm just waiting for it. It's called PlayLink, and basically in this game, which it looks like a sort of a Until Dawn style game, you and your people in your lounge playing all together. You all log into the game using your phones, and you can all use the app or whatever it does to play the game together, but to decide how what decisions people make. You also get specific information about each of the characters on your own phone, and you might know things or know something about the characters that other people in the room don't. It's called Hidden Agenda, and it wasn't announced at the show, but it wasn't announced on the conference. But the trailer looks really interesting, and it's a bit of a shame they didn't show it on stage, really, because it looks like a really awesome trailer. But yeah, there was a fair few announcements that didn't happen on stage, and like Super Hot for PSVR, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd have showed that game Hidden Agenda on stage at Sony, it would have at least kept me more interested for a little bit longer.
I mean, I guess
it looked absolute class.
The trailer is like a almost 3.5 minute trailer, so maybe they feel like they couldn't have explained it well enough in quick enough,
I guess.
time. But yeah, so that was E3 2017, James.
Nintendo saved it, mate.
Yeah. Thank
God
God
they did
Nintendo.
save it.
Well, okay. I mean, I've got. Do you want to hear my list of stuff that I think's rubbish?
Yeah, sure.
Let's hear the shit list.
Okay, so although one of these I'm thinking I'm taking off actually because I think probably is real.
What are you taking off?
Crackdown 3. I mean, not that it's not real, but that a lot of the detail was a bit weird. Mm-hmm. But then, okay, so basically this is what I'm going for. There's something missing from the Microsoft conference, but there's also stuff missing from the Sony one as well. Because I can't believe they were both that crap.
They were.
How can anything be missing from Microsoft? There's 42 games announced. Well, what more do you want? 43?
No, just something. There's got to be something there that makes it makes you sort of stand up or whatever. Then
4K?
I reckon the Rainbow Six Vegas remakes, that's bollocks. And David threw that in because he knows that not that long ago I still used to play that. So that's why that's been stuck in there.
That is bollocks. I totally fucked it. I was so excited to do that one, and I got way nervous. It was really funny when Matt was talking about lying on last year's episode.
Yeah.
He was saying, "Oh, my heart was pumping, and I was like proper like buzzing and stuff." And I thought, "Oh, come on, mate, pull yourself together." And I'd gone over in my head what I was going to say about that about 80 times, and I totally fucked it.
Yeah,
totally fucked
last
it.
year when I said Perfect Dark, my heart was going to burst from my chest. It was like, "Oh, come on!" You're like trying to keep the lie up. You're trying to sound genuine. Oh yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, you got me there.
So there's that. Beyond Good and Evil 2. There's something up with that. I think that's bollocks.
It's real, man.
We should save that.
And then we've got...
let's save that.
And then, you see, I've also got the curtain with reveals relating to the Sony one. But that's because that sounded so weird, what Matt was saying. And, it sounded so, pointless and, why would they do that?
It was.
Go over what you said, what you felt I was saying that was weird.
No, just like you were saying, first of all, you all kind of said that there was, a curtain there. And then initially David said, oh, yeah, we'll come to that later. And then you all kind of just forgot about it, so it obviously wasn't a big thing anyway.
We're going to keep mentioning the curtain. There's games to talk about.
Then I brought it up and said, oh, so what was the curtain? And then you kind of fumbled about, and then Matt started making up all this bollocks about how they had zombies suspended, behind stuff and everything.
They literally did.
Yeah, and the Destiny flags, don't forget that.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that. So it's missing stuff from the Sony one. There's stuff missing there. Now, for the Nintendo stuff... This is a bit more tricky. I'm sure the Rocket League thing is bollocks. I don't think that's true.
Well, I wouldn't stack that right up against F-Zero, would I? We wouldn't put two lies.
Yeah, you would.
Back to back.
You would.
Or would we?
Yeah, you would.
Maybe that's the trick.
I think the Rocket League's not real, and the Metroid Prime 4 thing, I'm not sure about that either. That's another one I think is potentially bollocks. But
okay.
I guess I'm going to find out in a minute when I go and try and watch everything.
You are going to find out in a minute when you go and watch everything.
You're like a kid in a sweet shop. You're not going to... What are you going to watch first?
I don't know what I'm going to do, actually.
Do it in order.
I'd start with Beyond Good and Evil 2, man.
No, you got to watch it. You got to pick and choose.
I'm doing what David did when he's on Google typing in Perfect Dark.
Yeah. But the thing, right, so with Metroid 4, right, you're going to search for it and then you're going to find the trailer and you're going to see it and you're going to go, oh, right. But at least with Beyond Good and Evil 2, you're currently doubting that, and you're going to see a really good trailer.
No, James, it's really worth looking at the first look at Metroid Prime 4.
I mean, the thing is I'm not going to come out of I'm not going to come out of this and just like watch each conference one after the other in a row.
Yeah,
there's no way that's going to happen. That's insanity. I'm not going to do that.
You've got to savour it.
Microsoft was 2 hours long.
Exactly. It's like 2 hours long or an hour and a half or whatever. I'm already like massively jet lagged, and it's like I can't keep my eyes open at the moment. I'm not going to miss that.
All night. On IGN.com.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch on my Switch, because that will give me an idea.
There's been an update today, so exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. We'll see. But they're...
Just right. Okay. Let me ask you this. Right. Take everything we've said as gospel, right? Just ignoring all that for a second. If E3 is how we described it, what do you make of it?
Well, it sounds really shit, to be honest. I mean, apart from the Nintendo stuff at the end, which sounds good. I mean, that Mario Odyssey stuff with it sounds believable to me, like that does, like, you know, that they've done something like that. But the rest of it just sounds really boring. And like it doesn't sound like there was anything there that like made anyone excited. And I can't believe that both Microsoft and Sony would both fuck up. They've never done that before. There's always been just one of them. I can't believe they both put together a conference that no one cares about. It's.
I seriously, I don't think Microsoft fucked up. I think
it's a bit harsh. I think there wasn't massive surprises.
Sony was dull as fuck, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, Sony was insane. Like, it's exactly how we described it, James. It was like a guy coming in and pressing play on a DVD player. It was. I was blown away by how I could not believe what was going on.
Okay, But what? Okay, so what was the reaction to this though? Like, as in, what did people think?
There's a lot of people. Right, here's my personal opinion of the reaction to it. There's a lot of people that seem to be defending it, and saying, "Well, Microsoft lost this year." I don't think they did. I in terms of looking at the presentations, I thought Microsoft had more new stuff, and they made a stage show out of it. And the Sony stuff, the initial reaction was, "Oh my god, they phoned this in. This is insane." But then people were defending it a bit and whatever. And as I said, it wasn't shit. It was just okay. You know what I mean? I think the majority of people will agree that Nintendo won that. And that was largely down to Mario and how good it looked.
Do you know,
like for me personally, when I watched that Mario trailer, I turned into a child again and got really, really excited about a computer game. And I was expecting to like it. I wasn't expecting the twists that trailer revealed to happen, and I was bang up for it by the end of it.
Do you know what I'm annoyed with myself about? I'm annoyed with myself about that F-Zero trailer because I'm just looking at the screenshot of it, and there's no way they wouldn't have opened that with like it not being like a blue Falcon. like it's now.
Also, the resolution is fucked. I don't know what happened to the aspect ratio of that video shot.
Oh, yeah.
Huge borders. Also, if you watch it in high, turn up the brightness of your screen and watch that trailer again, you'll notice that the platinum. Like the platinum logo is on like a light grey background. It's just so. But there you go. Yeah. Got him. I'm so glad we pulled that off as well, Sean, because we've been planning that for ages.
It was well executed, to be honest, and also getting me to watch it on my phone as well, so you could like hear the whole thing.
I dread to think how we're going to top it next year. Sorry, Matt. But
I was thinking out today, like next year, literally everything will be a lie. That's what I'm anticipating.
Is that because this year nothing is?
We'll have to get him involved. What was that?
Matt said, like, next year everything will be a lie. Is that because this year there's no lies?
No, I mean, you've already pointed out that F-Zero was a lie.
Yeah, but that's the obvious one, because you've revealed that
and
already.
Rainbow Six. Vegas.
Right, okay, can I go? Because I just want to go and watch stuff now.
Can we get Gabe on the show for next year, please?
Matt, Half-Life, and now he's going to announce Half-Life on the show.
This confirms that Halo 3, Half-Life 3 is coming out. Right, okay.
I'm dreading next year already. And to
you listeners, thanks for listening. I know it's been a long one. I hope you've enjoyed it. We really love doing these E3 shows. And so please, if you enjoyed this show, tweet about us to people, get people to listen to it, and let us know what you think. Only if you enjoyed it. If you didn't like it, fuck yourself.
Leave us a review on iTunes. That'd be good.
Yeah, review on iTunes, but mainly tweet about us and let people know that what we're doing over here. I've listened to a lot of other E3 shows from different podcasters, and let's face it, this is probably the best one out there. So, let people know. And we'll catch you hopefully next week for
the predictions.
The predictions and who won that game. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.